Couch Rider, Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though. Hey, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. I am your host, Jermaine Lockett, your Couch Rider Raven. I just want to say welcome for coming through. If you new, if you old, whatever, appreciate you. Just make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down, baby. Now the collection plate has been passed around. Let's see who we got in the room tonight. Let's see. We got Delicious saying, what's up? He's always first. Oh, yeah, what's going on, my man? All right, see, Delicious or Bless Brian. It's usually a contest between the two of them. And then Travis is in the room as well saying, hey, saying congrats to the 1,000 subs. Yes, we're on our way to 2,000. So as we journey on this road to 2,000, just remind everybody, once we get to 2,000, we'll have another raffle. And I believe, was it Bless Brian or was it somebody else who won the 2,000? They won, excuse me, not 2,000. I ain't giving away no 2,000. I think they won about $50. It was a $50 Amazon gift card or something along those lines. I think it might have been a Cash App. But yeah, we do a raffle. We do a raffle once we hit that 1,000. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I give you the Barry White of rap, the chosen one, the serial eater, Kam Ru. What's good, my man?
I need dinner.
Yes,
we got the crib.
Yeah.
Long day, brother.
Yeah, it has been. It has been a day.
What's going on? I ain't heard from you all day, so I know you must have been busy.
It's been one heck of a weekend. I just want to say that, life is real. It is crazy. It comes at you full, and I had a lot of family stuff going on this weekend and today, and so it put a lot on my heart, a lot on my mind, and just know that my brother, he's been on here in the comments a few times. He is starting his own show to help address some of the things that we go through in life. And he hadn't told anybody about it yet, but it'll come out eventually. And I'm not going to mention the name of it because I don't want it stolen or anything like that. But he wants to address life issues in general. And so I'm very proud of him being able to take this step and help other people. He wants to uplift and he wants to educate and he wants to just talk about and get different perspectives about different things going on with families, going on with just life in general. So I'm happy for him, and I'm hoping that he does well with that. I'm going to help him with that, and we'll probably bring him on the show eventually once he gets everything set up to talk about it. So
okay, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. I see KT Sports in here. Big Justice up in here.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all check out Justin. And he wanted me to share this, but I figured no better place than share it than right here on the show. Today, he had the pleasure of interviewing NFL Network. Was it Stephen White?
Yeah, it was big. That was big, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, that's huge, man. We have not got a celeb on the show yet. So I think other than the man right here. Yes. So very big for your show.
Family, B. I'm here. Yeah. I'm here. I'm walking here and scream the upper room when the millions are still screaming it.
Yeah. All right, so it's definitely it's huge, man. Huge for your show. Definitely glad for you. Keep rocking, keep doing your thing, man.
100%.
All the way to the top. Let's see who else we got in the room. So we have Bless Brian saying what's up to Kam Ru.
What's up, Bless?
And KTSC, like I said, saying what's up. Oh yeah, he likes the shirt.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I gotta wear it sometime when I get ready to train my clients. Gotta let them know. They want to talk to me. I'm like, let's get to work.
Yeah, like we talk about. If you talking, you ain't working, right?
You ain't working. If you gonna talk, you better be moving the weights. Let's get to work. You're running your mouth. You need to be moving.
That's why I said we two goats.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, so definitely, if you haven't subscribed to KTSC Sport Talk, please do so. I think he's on. You can find him on multiple platforms.
Yes, sir.
Just make sure you know YouTube. Just help him grow his YouTube channel, because that's where there's going to be a lot of traffic coming in that direction.
Mhm.
The other platforms, I mean, yeah, definitely get on those as well. He'll let you know when those go down. And then, so Bless Brown wants to know exactly what the shirt says, but I think we covered that already.
Oh, I move weight like you move your mouth. Simple and plain.
Yeah. All right, so folks, I mean, you know, business is business. You know, we got to talk about the same thing as usual. Now, this may have caused some ruffled feathers
Go
this
ahead, go
weekend,
ahead, go ahead, go
but
ahead. Get in
D-Roll is still here.
there. Hey, what up?
He's still here. You know, and a lot of people gonna be hot about this. A lot of people was hot. Hollywood took a ticket out of town because he was hot about this. But y'all gotta recognize that it's the system. If you are a Ravens fan, then guess what? This is something you got to take in. You got to take in, you got to eat it. Now, here's the thing. Now, I said this on KTSC Sport Talk Show the other day, and I'll say it here as well. When it comes to being a Ravens fan, you got to be a different type of person, different breed of person. It takes a certain amount of loyalty through the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. If you want outs, it's not even as difficult as what Hollywood went through. You do not have to even ask for a trade request. You don't have to say bye. You do not have to pass go, collect $200. There is the doors right there. The doors right there. You see, you got me frustrated breaking stuff in here.
I'll be back on that though.
The door is right there. Look, he don't hit the door. But look, the opportunity to be a Ravens fan is a fun thing, no doubt. And it's all love with different opinions, different perspectives, well, like that. And this weekend, you can see a million different perspectives when it came down to the Ravens. And it was amazing to see the draft that we had. And it was amazing to see that the rest of the NFL felt like this is the Baltimore Ravens Invitational. Meanwhile, Ravens flock felt a different type of way, or some of Ravens flock felt a different type of way, because the same receiver that they were dissing, that they said had no hands, that said couldn't catch, that wasn't worth it, that needed to get his life together, that we need to move on from, saw that he needed to do business elsewhere and went elsewhere. And all of Ravens Nation got hot because of it. Or at least the majority of Ravens Nation got hot. Even Engraven said that it's Ravens flock versus Ravens flock. And we tearing each other's heads off for it. But like I said, it does not take much to hit the door. I mean, obviously, it took a little bit for to get frustrated. Apparently, I done broke some stuff up in here. But everyone was sitting here hot about the fact that the Ravens didn't go after receiver to replace the situation, replace Hollywood. You felt like he was such a bad player. Why do you think it was such a reason to replace that impact that he made? So let's see. Let's go through some comments. You know I got to pay these bills, folks. Oh yeah, Engraven giving a shout out to KTSC. Yes, sir. And then yeah, just a lot of love there. So that was it was a good time apparently. So we had to go ahead and check that show out a little bit more. There's a lot of people saying that I don't care no more if Hollywood left. Yes. So Hollywood's numbers are going to jump significantly over. I say not jump. So here's the thing. When he went to the Cardinals initially before the suspension happened today with Nuke, his numbers were probably going to be less than 1,000 yards. He wasn't going to get 146 targets. It wasn't going to happen. There's no duo in the league that's getting 300 targets. And that's in Baltimore. That duo got 300 targets. Even Kelsey and Hill got 293 targets last season. Hollywood and Andrews got over 300 targets. He ain't going to get that over there with the air raid offense. I don't care. With that air raid offense, it's going to be spread out. That's the thing. It's an air raid. It's going to be all through the air. So you're going to see everybody getting targets, and he's going to have to get in where he fits in over there. It's not going to be a magnificent jump of targets. He may get a couple more because of the suspension that just happened. Because honestly, when you get to the end of the road, closer towards the end of the year, or your career, closer to your 30s, something starts to go, and it's your legs. And so, of course, you want to start to supplement with performance-enhancing drugs at times. I mean, it happened to Haley Nada. Haley was one of the top performing defensive tackles in the league, and he got popped. Boom. Some of these guys, they get a little desperate. They want that answer. They want that solution to their problem right there to help them have more shelf life to get to that next deal, to get to those next stats, to keep their performance going because they don't want to let go of it. And then some of them just not on the Brady plan. And I'm not saying the Brady plan is the ultimate plan, but obviously something is working for that old guy to keep ticking the way he's ticking. Anyway, but like I said, it's just, there's a lot of people just frustrated behind the whole deal. And I don't know where this dude went. He went to go get another bowl or something? Okay, he's still eating. Okay.
Bring my dinner. We go together today. On it.
All right, so let's see what you have to say about this.
I mean, you got to have my salad. It's salad day. Y'all don't understand the salad day on Monday.
So we talking about the whole Hollywood deal. Like, he's just not going to get more targets than he did when he was here. I mean, his targets are going to drop. Even with that 6-game suspension, there's still more mouths to feed over there with the Cardinals than there are here with us. Anyways, a couple of laughs because that daggone. I think I dropped everything right. Earthquake.
Salad first, bless.
Yeah.
I know you in here.
Oh yeah, bless. He's still laughing. Anyway, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm smoking hot after we did not draft one wide receiver. I understand. We saw you during the draft. You was probably about as mad as me.
Yeah.
When we did not get DJ Oreo, when we did not get the Kool-Aid man, he went to the Eagles. I don't know. For some reason, every single Northeastern team over there had me hot because they were stealing stuff from us. They were picking up pockets, as Eric DeCosta would say. I mean, you see my boy, Christian Harris on the clock. Boom. Houston came in and snuck it. I mean, Eagles, still my boy DJ Oreo. Steelers, still in Calvin Austin Jr. Or was it the third? I don't remember. Calvin Austin is now over there in the black and yellow. Lord help us.
That's
all right.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Don't be surprised. I don't think he's gonna get more targets there. He'll probably go down and talk, but I think he'll still, because it's an air raid system, he'll be the number 2. Kurt was the number 2 receiver. It wasn't AJ Green, but Kurt really wasn't producing like that because everything was so explosive. You know what I mean? But he may get less targets. He's still gonna get his money. He'll probably do better in that system because it's the same system they run in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be fine. He just want the ball. He want to be someplace where he ain't got to block as much, even though they like to run the ball. But the way they run the ball compared to the way we run the ball is totally different. Theirs is more. I don't really want to say finesse because Connor is not a finesse type runner, but you got to have one down the hill runner in that type of system with the way that he runs it, the way that the Cardinals run it, where it's like they're gonna hit you in the mouth, but they hit you in the mouth more or less unexpectedly. Let's spread them all out. You get light in the box because we got all these weapons on the outside, and then we just run down your throat. That's what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is without Hopkins being there, nobody's going to really pick up that production. Maybe AJ Green could do something for a little bit, but it's just not going to be the same. That's what Hollywood needs. He needs somebody to take the pressure off of him. As far as that's concerned, in that type of offense. I'm not talking about our offense. I'm talking about that type of offense.
As far as our offense is concerned, I mean, Travis hit it on the head. Bateman gonna be number 1, just like when we traded Hayden Hurst to put Mark Andrews in the spot. I think, and when it came to it, I think Mark Andrews was gonna be doing his thing regardless if Hayden Hurst was there or not. Bateman is going to be the Batman gonna be the dude. He is definitely going to be that guy, and I think we got a lot of good backups that are waiting for their opportunities to shine. I can't wait. I'm excited. I am extremely excited. I was just as excited before the draft, and I kept telling y'all that we got some dogs back there, and that EDC actually believes in these dogs, that he's committed to these dogs. Now, of course, tomorrow when we go get Deebo Samuel, he still will say, hey, I'm still looking forward to seeing what these guys have to offer. But Of course, that's tomorrow. We don't know what's promised tomorrow, but we know what we have. And if we had to start a game right now, Ravens got some dogs and they ready to ball out. All right, let's go here. KTSC is talking about the whole line. He says starting our offensive line: Ronnie Stanley, left guard Morgan Moses, center Tyler Linderbaum, right guard Zeitler, right tackle Faele.
KT talked about it yesterday.
I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen the Morgan Moses part. I mean, did you hear about? I mean,
no. He's saying it just said if that's his if it was up to him, that's his prediction. He would rather start for Lele right now, opposed to just waiting him. Wait and put. And Morgan Moses, he can play all 4 positions on the line, which is true. Left guard, left tackle. I don't see nothing wrong with it. That's a huge line.
Yeah, very. It was what do they call it? The Fort McHenry, right?
I guess so.
I think that's what they call it. Yeah. So I'd still like to see McCarry, see what he has to offer at the left guard position. And then of course I still want to see Cleveland step it up in the second year, and see. I mean, everybody's talking all this fuss about his size. I mean, we used to want the same thing about Faele just a couple minutes ago. About Faele's size, how massive he is, how he's the biggest guy in the NFL. And last year we said Cleveland, oh man, look at him compared to his girlfriend. This dude is huge. He comes in eating squirrels for a living. We and then also, then I mean, I don't want to have similar, I guess I wouldn't say fall off, but I want to see growth. I want to see growth between both of those, is what we're saying here. So let's see. In here.
I think sorry, because I think for Lele is going to be better than, I know the comparison right now. The comp is Orlando Brown.
Yeah,
but he's more of an athlete than Orlando Brown. So I definitely think he's going to be better.
Yeah,
than Orlando if he gets his technique now. He's if you watch his tape, his bend is ridiculous. His lower half is like super strong, and his arms are, he was a rugby player, so he's used to running.
Mm-hmm. They can throw too, no doubt. He a big boy. Which Delicious said, day 2 had me in the car, bro. Steelers they took Calvin Austin and George Pickens. So so if any of y'all who weren't watching the draft live, anytime we say we were in the car, I mean we were crying in the car and somebody else pulled the car around so that we can get our cry on in the car. So anytime you hear we're in the car, we was in the car crying because we didn't get what we wanted.
Yep.
I was in the car early. I believe who else was in the car? Brian was driving. Big Red was driving.
Big Red was driving.
Yeah, Big Red was driving the car, and I told him let me out the car.
Yeah, Big Red was driving.
Once 23 came around, I was like, let me out the car, because remember I predicted that Ravens could be looking at Tyler Linderbaum. Was very excited about that. Miner has a question here. He says, "What's up? What's that? What do you think we should get at receiver that could help?" So I think help is on the way. Help is here right now. And I wanted to talk about that with a few undrafted free agents that I was looking at today. I was looking at some of the height. Man, they brought in some height today. I mean, this past weekend. Of course, they brought in Mekhi Polk. I think that's like the easiest one to get excited about. A 6'3", 195-pounder out of Mississippi State. He's a possession receiver. He's got 105 catches in 2021. I guess he fell because of his combine and the pro day. He's flexible. Yeah, he's reliable catches. He's an aerial radius ball catcher, should I say. So that means it doesn't have to be perfectly on point, which he's probably dealt with some garbage quarterbacks who weren't putting it where it was supposed to be, but he's just like, no, I got you, fam. I got you. I remember when, Lamar threw that one pass to Chris Moore. It was behind him in his first year. It was the first game, and Chris was like, no, I can make you look bad. I got you, fam.
Yeah.
And so Mekhi is one of those type of guys who will catch an area ball. If it's in the area, he coming. And then some of his cons, though, were his separation, a little bit of the route running, some physicality, and the yards after the catch. They wanted to see a little bit more strength after the catch when it came to his yards. He ran a 4.59 40, and he had 9 touchdowns in 2021. But he recorded a school high. I think it was 89 catches for 1,096 yards and 9 touchdowns in 2021. So if you're recording school highs and still becoming an undrafted free agent, it's kind of a steal for the Ravens, to be honest.
Yep. A lot of people thought he was going to get drafted, but his 40 time kind of scared them. But Then the fact that you're saying he's not that strong, all that is that goes down to the what up, Lisa? That comes down to who got in the weight room, strength and conditioning, player.
Yeah,
he'll be all right.
Let's see.
About 10 more pounds on him, he'll be all right.
Yes. So Lisa said she's loving the draft picks. How about you guys? Look, man. Y'all remember when I made that prediction?
Mm-hmm.
I said the Ravens gonna get 3 first rounders. I said it. There was a whole show about it.
He holding hard, bro.
There was a whole show about it. 3 first rounders is what I said the Ravens
got 5. If you really want to talk about it,
we got some
5 first rounders.
And it was I predicted that. I was like, yo, Ravens gonna get back.
He holding on. He want that glove.
I said, we're gonna get back into this first round, right? And I was like, I was just like going off, dog. Y'all, I know it's a long show, that the last show that I predicted this on, but I predicted 3 first rounders. I mean, for us to go in there to get our boy Hamilton, to then go get our guy Linderbaum, and then to get a guy who works so perfectly with the system. In a jobbo. What's up?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You want me to introducing Negro Damas. Is that what you want me to call you? That's what he waiting for the day.
I'll set up a couch.
You got it, bro. You got it.
It's the truth, baby. It's the truth. I mean,
drink your water. What you drinking on? What you drinking?
It's water. It's water. I promise.
Okay, he's drinking. I'm working on him, y'all. I'm working on him. Probably getting some water. Cheers, sir.
I say next week I'll be in the gym.
Next week you'll be back to the soda.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be back on the soda probably not. Maybe halfway through the show. I don't know. Let's see. But yes, when it came down to it, man, I was excited that we were able to jump back in, get those guys. We know Ajabo's a first round pick. No matter what that trainer who walked around him thought. we know he's a first round pick. I mean, that was phenomenal to be able to pick up those guys and know that, hey, we got something really special right there. Travis Jones, I guess he had a first round grade as well. So, I mean, that just steals. They called it the Baltimore Invitational outside of Baltimore. And yet, so here we go. We got some people that's just salty as all get out, man. I'm like, 3 first round. Why y'all mad? Look, I'm on YouTube and I'm looking at this. I want you to see this because I think it was on. I can't remember whose show it was on. It was on some ESPN show, whatever. Some dude hopped in here, and I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I will put his comment because he deserved this. Every bit of this blast. Let me remove my banner here.
Oh yeah. KT showed me this foolery.
Yeah, it's like as it stands right now, Ravens offense consists of a bunch of running backs who are coming off of ACL tears, and a group of 3rd and 4th string wide receivers with an average of about 2 years of experience in the NFL. How in the heck is this supposed to be considered a viable offense for Jackson, who's expected to beat teams like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Chargers, etc.? My thinking is that the Ravens are just going to run him into the ground, refuse to sign him, and take another quarterback in the next year's draft, which is supposed to be a stacked quarterback class. Brother, I'm gonna go ahead and light it up. You with me?
I'm done eating, so I can smoke something. Let me get it.
I'm gonna pass that. There you go.
Yeah. Take that down real quick. Let me
got to get that in. Just smoke. Okay. Just terrible. All right, so
can I say something real quick, brother, before you even go in?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
If anybody out there thinks, I'm sorry, I don't care who you think is the best quarterback in the game, but you talk about somebody, forget it, generation talent. I don't know what you want to call. Lamar's a unicorn, bro. He's a unicorn. There's some that can run and pass and so on and so forth. If you haven't seen glimpses of him in greatness in different aspects of his game, then you really are not watching him. So when people say there's no, and I'm not taking shots at Joe Burrow, just using him, for example. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in after 1 year, he's the best quarterback in our division. just minus everything else, right? He's the best quarterback in our division. That's what's been said, and everybody got their own opinion. You know what I mean? You can't never call. Even when Lamar, this is why I'm a little pissed off. I'm sorry, but even when Lamar won the Super Bowl, won the MVP unanimously.
I was like, when he did
it? He was a unanimous MVP that season. Do you understand? The following year, he was not marked as the number one quarterback in our division. You understand what I'm saying? Like the lack of respect that this dude gets is annoying. And everybody, like, I don't care if you say Joe Burrow's the best, if you say Patrick Mahomes in the lead wise, whoever. I don't care who you think is the best. They still can't do half of the stuff that Lamar can do. Yeah. He's a unicorn.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's phenomenal what he's able to put on his back. And I think when you look at this draft,
hold on one second. Let me before you say anything else, I just want to add this last thing. He's done more with less. The only other quarterback that's done more with less, I'm gonna just name two. They both are Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, and that's Tom Brady and that's Aaron Rodgers. Only quarterback that's done more with less and has won the MVP. Let that sink in real quick. More with less. More with less. He hasn't had a Pro Bowl receiver yet. Only thing he's had is a Pro Bowl tight end. And that was his MVP season. That's when everybody started to recognize Mark Andrews. So more with less. More with less. How many good receivers are over there in Cincinnati? Go ahead, I'll wait.
I got 3.
Let's go on. Like even before Joe Burrow got there, even after he won the MVP, when Joe Burrow was a rookie, it was still, I don't know if Joe Burrow might be the best quarterback in that division. Or Baker Mayfield. Wow. He just won the MVP unanimously. Only other quarterback to do that was Tom Brady.
Man, they just tossed Joe Burrow aside like, hey, step aside, son. Last year, everybody was talking about Baker Slayfield. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm pretty sure Wilbert was like, hey, this guy's gonna be MVP, you know, kind of spewing out some malarkey or something like that along those lines. But the thing about Lamar, he gonna be around. He gonna continue to be all right, as Hollywood said. He even gave his endorsement whenever he was talking on I Am Athlete. He's like, hey, they're gonna be all right without me as long as they got Lamar. And
he knows the truth.
Yeah, and the thing about it, this draft had 2019 vibes on it because it was focused on the tight ends.
Pretty hot about that.
Around Lamar, because if we have 3 tight ends again and we go with those 3 tight end sets, I mean, I can't imagine what it's going to look like when you go out there and you have, you know, first of all, you got like our main guy, you got Mandrews sitting out there. Then on the other side, Isaiah Likely. Okay, this is looking even better. And even if you just went out with those 2 and Pat Ricard over there as the third, however you want to place him in there, that makes this offense even more dangerous. Rashad, with his ability on the outside, just to go for that deep ball. But you have so many options right then and there. You can use those guys as blockers. We got that 3rd round tight end in there, Kohler. This dude can ball. I mean, he can absolute ball. He can block. And like I said, you might have the NASCAR package out there every once in a while. But for the most part, we're looking at possible 3 tight ends again, to where this team is actually unbeatable on the ground. And it's not a bad thing to get it in on the ground. A yard is a yard, folks.
I'm sorry. I'm still hot. Yo, this dude, he got us to the playoffs his rookie year. Mm-hmm. We weren't doing nothing with Joe. Got love for Joe, but come on. I'm hot, bro, because he don't get enough respect. Man.
Wilbur here donation to Kam Ru so he can get him a JOK jersey. You dirty mother. I love this dude, right?
I'm serious. You don't get enough love, man, and the lack of respect is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. Like RC said it best. Ryan Clark. He was like, caught up with him, what? Because he run a 4.3 and you don't. Like, how you catch up with him in the league? Like, you didn't catch up with this man. We more with less. Again, Before he was injured, we was 8-3.
Yeah, and then didn't
have your backfield.
Yeah,
you didn't have your core receivers together on the field together. The whole plan was to have J.K. and Gus in that backfield. Sammy, Hollywood, Bate. Never had all three of them on the field. Now, maybe one time, maybe once, and that's when the zero blitz hit.
Mm-hmm.
When it finally hit the wall and everybody, they figured it like, oh, well, we just going to let it go down. And no, we didn't adjust. And I'm talking about the Thursday night game against Miami. I can't wait to play
Miami. Was actually when Sammy caught that slant. I was like, there's the adjustment. And then, boop, fumble. I'm like, oh, well, dang.
But I mean,
like they went away from it.
But my whole 8-3, we was number one in the division, in the conference, let alone number one in the division. 8-3, and we were still decimated with injuries. Decimated. They could not have done that zero blitz if we had J.K. and Gus in that backfield. We had no explosion on those run plays. None. That changes the whole thing with the zero. Changes everything. I'm sorry. I'm a little hot because I saw Stephen A. and sometimes I want to punch him through the doggone TV.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when you were
still
get
Ravens any love, especially you don't never get Lamar any love.
Yeah, he's a Steelers fan. This dude been dissing Lamar since that charge.
You give Cincinnati love, you give Cleveland love. You won't never give Baltimore any love.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just Stephen A. for you. He's a hardcore Steelers fan, and he's gonna find any way that he can diss the Ravens as possible. So usually I take what he says, just toss out the window because it's nonsensical half the time, and he doesn't know who's actually healthy when he's talking about him. I mean, there's many times he was talking about how Hunter Henry is gonna blow it up, and Hunter Henry is on IR, sitting there looking at the TV like, huh? I'm on IR tonight. Like, what are you talking about? So, yes, when it comes to Stephen A., I ignore him completely. But when it comes to Ravens Nation coming after, the organization saying that they're not doing anything, they don't care about Lamar, they don't care about the building of this team, that's y'all one side. Y'all have got really short sights. Because they did not draft a wide receiver does not mean that they don't care about Lamar. When you look at that offensive line, they beefed this offensive line. This line is going to look superb come regular season. And with death. You know what I'm saying?
This year. No falling, bro. Look, let me tell you something. Talk about the NASCAR package. I can see them coming out there with a quadruple set with you could put because it's going to say it's just hypothetically speaking, just say it's like a 3rd and 3, and you come out with all 4 tight ends because it's going to happen. Because Harbaugh already said, are we keeping 4? Yes.
Yeah, we keeping 4.
We keeping 4. So Josh Oliver may not be there unless Nick Ball is going to retire, whatever. Hopefully Nick is right. Either way, we keep him 4. We kept 4 last year anyway.
Yeah. It's just that, the writing's on the wall for a few of those guys, but I said if a writing's on the wall for a few of those guys that we brought in as free agents like before the draft. Sure. And that's fine. I like the level of competition that we're going to have, and like I said, nothing's guaranteed. But these guys are going to come into camp and they're going to compete.
But think about this package right here. You come out with 4, right? Whether they tight or spread them out, you still they're going to match. You're not going to match it with no DBs. They're going to if you're going to try to. It's going to be another problem. Because if you're not going to get light in the box, you're going to get heavy in the box. Even if they put Pat Ricard back there as an extra blocker. Whether they, how we run the quarterback bid, and the next thing you know, it's going to open up passes because Likely has more speed than you think. Likely, honestly, what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Shannon Sharp. That's what he reminds me of. He's built very similar to him, and he's fast. Shannon Sharp was a receiver playing tight end. He was really, if you really think about it, if you go back, he's the one that really started all of this. Like, everybody needed that type of tight end. After that, then you started getting all these fast tight ends coming. You need the Antonio Gates. You needed somebody that had that type of basketball build or that could run routes. Either way, it's going to be some problems. The offense is going to be some problems. When they grabbed him, it's like, Hobbs looked at Giro and said, "We getting Likely. Can you do something with that?"
Yeah.
Like, take him. He said, take him. That's what he said. Take him. Yeah.
And I'm like, look, Eric DeCosta, he's drafting to help out what G Rose actually got planned, And I'm thinking some of this, it goes like he's like, hey, make this work. I'm gonna make this, and I'm giving you what you need. Go ahead, make this work. But I am not gonna sit here and say that our wide receivers aren't ready to rock. I guarantee you right now, these boys working. Wallace is working behind the scenes. Prochet working behind the scenes. These guys are even Ben Victor just saw all this competition come in and say, you know what, game on, let's go. Because look, let me tell you what's being brought in. So we got Mekhi Polk. I already mentioned that. You got Trayvon Clark coming out of Cali. This dude's 6'4", 195 pounds. 40 wasn't spectacular. It was a 4.69 40, but he averages 19.94 yards per catch in 2021. He spent 2 years in JUCO, junior college, and then left for personal reasons in 2020. And he was a star offensive weapon, leading the team with 658 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. That was 20 yards per catch, I think, in the previous season. And he wore number 80 in college. So I don't know if hopefully that 80 is not a bad luck number around here or something. But looking for shine. And then there's Emeka I don't even know how to say this name. Emeka Emzi.
North Carolina State.
Yeah, North Carolina State. 6'3", 220. So he had an impressive pro day. He's from Waxhaw, North Carolina. This dude is a yak monster. From everything I kept seeing, just full on yards after the catch, wants to fight after contact. And then ranks 5th in the school with 169 receiving catches. With 169 receptions. He had 13 touchdowns. 13 in 2021. Can you imagine scoring 13 touchdowns for your school, leading the school in receptions and still going undrafted? I'm pretty sure it's kind of blowing his mind right now. Chip on shoulder. Insert. Has consistent hands. He had 2,093 receiving yards, 38 touchdowns in high school. This dude's got a tough, solid frame. Like I said, that 220, most of these times you're going to see guys that come across where you got a guy on our roster right now that's like 6'5", 205. That's on the roster, but he's signed from Oregon. I mean, this dude's 205, but you got a guy here that's 220 at 6'3". So somebody's eating their Wheaties and everything else. And then there's, of course, Slade Bolden. This guy has been highly celebrated, and, of course, he comes out of Alabama, so usually everything in Alabama is highly celebrated. But here's one guy, because of his 40 time, it may have slowed him up. He ran a 4.66 40. He's a slot wide receiver. Safe hands. They said this guy is Mr. Reliable. He's a grinder in traffic, fearless across the middle, blue collar, non-eye popper type wide receiver, but still gets the job done. Just a grinder, Mr. Blue Collar, 5'11", 195 pounds. So, of course, the size isn't eye popping, but what he was able to accomplish there as far as moving the chains was impressive for Alabama. So we're kind of rooting for this guy. What do you think on him?
What's his name? Minor? Is it Minor?
Slade Bolden, Alabama.
Bolden, talking about Bolden. I saw the Bama games. He's good. He reminds me of what's my man's name that played for New England? Julius Edelman.
Okay.
He's just quick. He's shifty. He's not like, he just got to be in the right system. I think that, when you're a free agent, it's not, we call you, but it's up to you if you want to come to us, right? And I think he's just looking for an opportunity. So
when you got all them shining, burning Lamborghinis sitting on the outside, it's kind of hard to get your shine on when you got a Mechie sitting above you, a Heisman Trophy winner sitting above you. When you got all these other players ready to go coming out of the first round, you're not going to get your shine on as much. But I think we got something special there.
I think do I think he's going to make the team per se? No, maybe he'll be on the practice squad. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is why I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, because of Likely's, because of him being an athlete the way he is. I wouldn't be surprised if we keep 5 tight ends, because we still have, this will be Josh Oliver's 4th season, and you kind of like putting Likely under the receivers, and we keeping 5 receivers, meaning we keep Tylen, Bate, James, Devin, and Ben Victor. And you have Likely there, and you put the other receivers that you like, you put them on the practice squad. That's what Ben Victor was for a couple of years. So it's not like, I don't see that as a bad thing. Put it that way.
Now here's one that I'm thinking. I really hope that him and Ben Victor have a full-on battle. I'm hoping it's like Goku versus Vegeta up in here when it comes to this guy I'm about to announce next. I mean, he is just to climb up out the gym, Look, this guy climbs the ladder, makes circus catches. And if you want to know who I'm talking about real quick, go ahead and jump up on my Twitter. There's a video I just popped up on there. And it's just a 10-second clip, put a little music behind it, whatever, just show one play. But when you see how this guy leaps up to catch the ball from his QB, from Anthony Brown, just give y'all a hint. Devin Williams, oh my goodness. Circus catches. All I put on his tape, I'm like, that's all I'm seeing is circus catches on this guy. Sure, he's like 205. But I mean, it looks like the jersey might hang off on him, and that's an Oregon jersey, so those are usually normally tight. He looked like a little Ethiopian or something like that. But my boy gets up. He gets up. I'm like, man, I want to see somebody catching jump ball passes like this. Ain't nobody getting up over this guy. I was like, wow, just blown away with his talent level. I'm not sure what fell through for him. Maybe it was the 40 because he ran a 4.65.
Well, I don't think it was just that. I think that I did do some research on him. He had some off the field issues like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And then he came out and said the reason, and then this year was off and on, but he had some family problems. So, that can always distract you, a bit. He was talking about, I think his mom had passed away. I'm not sure, or he said something like his mother was sick. A lot of people didn't know that. So,
and I think he was also sitting in the shadow of two really good players. The running back named Dye is what I saw a lot on the tape, and then a receiver that kept across the middle. What's his name? Thornton. Yeah,
Thornton, the one that got drafted by
New England, I think.
New England drafted. Yeah, he ran
leaving off the tape. And I was trying to watch little clips. I was trying to speed through the tape, trying to get to the plays where Devin Williams is. And every time I would stop thinking that this is Devin. Oh, yeah, it's going to be Devin. It was Tyquan Thornton. I'm like, okay, looks like New England got something pretty special there because I just kept going through and he just kept popping up like the annoying little kid coming out there like, move, son. I'm not trying to watch you right now.
Dude, he was fast, man. He ran a 4.2. Did he run? I think he ran the fastest 40 time for receivers.
Yeah, he's going to be a monster for New England. With what he does across the middle was really dangerous over there. I think that was all the wide receivers I had that the Ravens picked up. Now, going back to other positions that the Ravens picked up, I'll start off with the one that, hopefully the Ravens have the maturity to be able to tolerate within this organization. This guy is an excellent hitter. He's great against the run, and he had 282 career tackles. This is nothing to laugh about. There's no laughing matter. His name is Diego Fago.
Salute.
Fago, all right?
From the Navy.
240 pounds. 6'3", from the Navy. Y'all respect his name because he will come down with that thunder. He will hit you pretty hard, folks. So that is one guy we picked up. I'm looking forward to seeing what the competition will be. But another inside linebacker I am highly impressed with because of his leadership and his ability to run McDonald's defense. And I think they picked him up specifically for that because of that leadership ability to get people in place. When he was injured, the players just kind of fell off the map when it came to how that defense was ran. Josh Ross out of Michigan. We're looking at 6 foot, 227 pounds, a little undersized, but at the same time that he makes up for with the way he carries himself. He carries himself taller than his actual height.
Do you think he being that with his size, I don't know how fast he is. I would think that he would try to switch over. I mean, there's always room for a box safety, like in some some form of fashion, opposed to him being, being
a safety we got there, though. I think he might just come in.
But I'm just saying in general, like him. I'm just thinking about out of the box, like him making it into the league. Like
I think he's going to have to come in and install pieces of the McDonald's system. I think that's the best way to have it installed is on the field with him. Plus, if he's on the field receiving that green dot, I know, of course, we like Bynes, but if he's on the field receiving that green dot and installing this defense, it's a smart way to go. And then, like I said, we can remove that green dot from Chuck if he's actually looking to go elsewhere. But like I said, I think Jason Lockenford was just full of crap. And that was just on his mind. He just decided to put it out as sources said or whatever because he's always lying.
Yeah.
But like I said, his leadership across the middle, he knows how to line everybody up in McDonald's scheme. He was the Michigan Defensive Player of the Year with 106 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, and he had 14. He did all that within 14 starts. He's got middling speed. I'm not going to say it's like phenomenal speed. It's middling speed. He's a run stopper. He gets off the blocks very easy, and he's a very athletic inside linebacker. So, I mean, I can imagine seeing him next to Queen. Having him as the mic. Let's just say, should something happen to Bynes, that's just more depth right there. But at the same time, the intelligence to have him doing the installs during training camp, I would totally use him for that. And then I'd honestly just like to see what he has. I mean, he's obviously put in the work. 106 tackles don't mean he ain't no slouch. I mean, it don't mean he's a slouch or something, I
can see him working. I definitely can see him working.
Yeah. Hold up. Tough Puppy probably corrected me here. He said Thornton was from Baylor, not from Oregon. Well, who the heck was I watching across the middle? It was another Thornton.
Yeah, you're right. Baylor receivers were the ones that were breaking all the damn records.
Who was the one that was catching stuff across the middle that was in Oregon? I think he was number 11. And I'm gonna have to go check it out. But yeah, it was a beast on there. Like he just kept leaving off the tape. Anyway, so let's move forward here. So as far as inside linebackers go, of course, the final one is Zakoby McClain. So I think he actually made the most money too, out of the ones that got signed. So this guy had 95 tackles in 2021. He's 6 foot. He's a bone crushing tackler. He's got run stop skills. He's superb at that. He's athletic. Needs to see more against the pass. But here's the thing: Auburn only had one player drafted, one player out of the whole class, one player drafted, and we know that was McGregor.
Right.
So with that, I think there's stellar players that were starting on Auburn's defense last year. So the linebacker coach gave this endorsement. He said he's a guy you want in the alley with you. You want to go in the alley with. So obviously, if you get into a fight, this is the guy you need to go after with Zakoby McClain. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to bring to the table as well. Don't think I had any other linebackers. Did you have any other? Am I missing anybody inside linebacker wise?
No, I pretty much covered all the linebackers.
Jeremiah Moon. I can't remember if he was inside or out. He's a Florida Gator.
He's an inside linebacker. Well, I think they have him listed as an inside linebacker, but he's as big as he is. He needs to be outside, maybe.
And I saw him doing some edge work, some of that 5 out there. But he's had some health issues, but he's long and he has decent field awareness at 6'5", 245 pounds. What's funny about this guy is you ever seen an alligator wrap somebody up? When they do that the wrapping the roll thing?
Yeah.
That's the way he tackles. He tackles like a gator. It's kind of ironic that it's a gator that tackles like a gator. He that's his thing. He'll go low on those ankles, and the second he grabs one, he does this crazy roll. It's impressive to see. It's a majority of his tackles if you watch the tape. Let's pay some bills here for a second here. Let's see. Let's start off with.
We need to go back up a little bit. I think gotta go higher. I think KT has something to say.
KT.
He said something about JT being the comeback player of the year.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, JT or JK or Lamar. There's so many players that could be considered comeback players of the year for the Ravens because, I mean, we had so many hurt. That was crazy. Like they could all come out. Stanley could come out and have a phenomenal season. Keep Lamar completely clean, become an all comeback player of the year. JK could go for 1,800 and be like, oh yeah, I'm comeback player. Gus might come out and be like, you know what? Go ahead and step aside, JK. I got this, homie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, then Lamar, come out and probably win MVP again. Who knows? Lisa says, what I noticed during the draft is there were guys who went to college they played for their home teams. There was a lot of homesteading when it came to the scouts. Like I said, when you looked at Green Bay, and I told everybody that Christian Watson was going to be their guy, that they had a little love relationship with them, and he actually got drafted by Green Bay. They had been scouting that guy for a very long time. Let's see. Travis says, Big Vic should be active for game day. Oh, Ben Victor. Yes, that's the guy who's a big jump bar expert. He got Wood's endorsement.
We're rooting for him.
Hadid says Slade Bolden equals Julian Edelman. So he was just saying what you were saying just now. Wes Welker, Danny Amendola. Yeah, it's nice to have a guy like that. I mean, I thought we were going to get Julian Edelman. The year the Patriots won the championship, One of those years. It was.
You beat Atlanta.
There was a year where we actually went after restricted free agent tag, restricted rights, or was it rights, whatever, exclusive rights free agent,
Right.
Julian Edelman. But the Patriots matched the contract, and so Baltimore was kind of left on the out because they knew exactly what they had. And then we went after that player Campanaro, and y'all saw how that went. It didn't go too well. But I wish we would have had a chance to pick up a Julian Edelman, and now we have something like that here. It'd be interesting to see if he can climb the charts at camp. It's all about what's going to be open at camp because it seems like everything is going to be open once camp starts. But I still believe in the guys that are currently on the roster. I think Prochet is going to prove to be a phenomenal slot wide receiver. Delicious is laughing about something. Good. I'm glad we got you there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It says Thornton. Yeah, you already. Thank you, tough puppy. So New England jumped nearly everyone. I thought Thornton would be late rounds for us. Let's see here. Travis says, I hope Chuck doesn't leave. He's a brain. He is a definite brain, but I think the talent we have at safety, when you got a ball hawk back there and a guy who's ready to knock somebody's head off in Hamilton, Chuck is expendable at this particular point. And as long as we get somebody to wear the green dot, we're pretty solid.
I think Bonds is wearing the green dot. I don't think that's it's not Wings defense, right? So the green dot's probably going back to the middle linebacker.
Yeah. This was a curious thing too. 3 safety package. Last time I seen a decent 3 safety pack, well, I wouldn't even say decent. Ed Reed was in the package in Houston, and it did not go well.
No, well, that's what Pittsburgh's been running the whole season.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Pittsburgh's been running it. Miami runs it. I mean, we were running it every now and then. That's when the Joker was healthy, we would bring out Brandon Stevens.
Okay.
So we run it before, but people gotta be healthy on the field. That was the whole purpose of doing it. But
yeah, gotta have healthy bodies.
Be there, man. I mean, again, I hope he does, but if he doesn't want to be there, I'm gonna be honest with you. That opens up a door for Geno Stone, and guess what?
But Geno like a free too, ain't he?
He's a free, but they have him listed as a strong safety. He can come down to the box because he had the green dot in the Green Bay game.
Okay,
he did a decent job, but look, that also opens up the door from the person that you took his job from. You took Tony Jefferson's job. Tony Jefferson was doing a heck of a job before he got hurt. So he's back. So I'm not hurt. I'm not. And when Tony got back here, as soon as he got back on the field, he was having an impact. So I'm not. I don't. Do I want to lose Chuck? No. But can I see it happening? Can I see them trading him to like Philly, who needs a safety? The Jets, who need a safety. There's a couple of teams that need somebody back there. Can I see it happening? Yeah, I can see it happening.
No, absolutely. I think they're going to find the best value for the situation if he wanted to trade. But if he did not, I think they're going to find a way to make it work in a 3 safety system.
We're not going to. I'll tell you what. When he becomes a free agent, I don't see them re-signing him.
Nah.
You know.
Yeah. So Delicious says Ajabo is going to do well, especially since McDonald was his defensive coordinator in Michigan. Like I said, between him and Ross, I'm excited to see them basically mentor the rest of these guys as to how this thing's really going to set up. How is it really going to look with McDonald handling business and installing this new defense. So here. Oh, you so hurtful, Jack. Jack, why would you say something like that?
You can't just say it and just walk off.
Brother, where you get this Bateman is overrated thing? They like, if you look at him getting the opportunities, he flourished getting the opportunities. Go look at the amount of first downs that he had. Like 18 first downs out of 20. Yeah.
Every time he caught the ball, he got a first down.
Yeah, it's like every time. And then he goes and rips it loose. Like I said, if we had used him the full game against Miami.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm about to ignore this dude because he going down the list. He upset. I don't even know if you're a Ravens fan.
Steelers fan or something?
I don't know. Chuck Clark sucks. He drops every interception. He has not dropped every interception.
There's a lot of hate right here, Jack. What's going on, man?
He hasn't dropped every interception because he hasn't gotten his hands on the ball to drop it. You got to have your hands on the ball to drop an interception. That's number one. So you got to speak some facts to me. If You just talking to be talking. I'm gonna get in your ass. Sorry, my bad, Couch. Don't come on this stage right here, boss, because you better be here ready to dance. I'm serious, like.
Yeah, talking about DK. Oh, hold up.
Come on now. Talk.
Right, so we're gonna go back over here to a couple other comments.
Come on, talk some facts, because you talking stupid and you don't got no picture up there, so that makes me even wonder where you at right now. You a ghostwriter.
Tough Puppy said Moon be hitting her with the death roll. Yeah, that death roll, man. Look, Moon is nasty with that. So anyway, so Travis is saying, nah, son, he number one. Oh, I think he was talking about Bateman. Yeah, so Bateman is going to be that dog. He is going to be, honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say it now. This dude will be a Justin Jefferson equivalent this year. Justin Jefferson type style. Justin Jefferson play phenomenal catching. I mean, it's going to be, you're going to be impressed with the chemistry that him and Lamar have this year and what he's able to do with the 50-50 ball. Because that boy can bring it down. Like we brought in all of these big boy wide receivers, but Bateman plays big, and so does Wallace. And wait till you see Wallace completely unlocked when his cheat code gets left, right, left, thumb select B. When it gets unlocked and you see Wallace come through, y'all be like, why was he on the bench? You gonna be like, wow,
this dude is funny.
Tell him. What he said now?
He's talking about Bateman soft, bro. Okay. Bateman had what? He only had 500 yards last year. He didn't play the whole season.
Yeah, what if he was not injured? He would have had 7. He was on pace for 7. Was it 7 or 800 or something like that?
He's not better than Hollywood. We don't even know if he's better than Hollywood. He was a rookie, number one, and number 2, he ain't played the whole season. What are you talking about?
Put this dude in his place.
Come on, B. No. Come on. I like when jokers want to talk and they ain't got no damn. They got to make some sense. You got to make some sense. Who's somebody in your ear? What are you talking about?
My brother talking about let the Bojan City out. We don't need that boss city. I don't need that type of. I can't act like that today, man. I'm a Christian now. Oh, let's see here. So Delicious getting at him. He said, Bateman is a legitimate chain mover. So not only is he a chain, but this guy has a complete portfolio of game. And we saw that when we looked at the Miami game, when we look at the Cleveland game, that is where that was a whole different style of game than what we saw with the Chargers. That was a different style of game than what we saw with the against the Vikings. Those two, you compare those two games. Go watch those two games, the Chargers game and go watch the Vikings game. So you'll see a similar style right there, right? Go back and watch Cleveland's game in the last 5 minutes of the Miami game, and you will see that he has a full game. A full portfolio of game.
You ain't got to justify nothing to this guy. You got to justify nothing to this fool. Like, he not making no sense to me. You got to make sense for me to respond. Don't respond to him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, look here in the room. If you feel like, here we go. If you feel like Jack should get some slaps, y'all know what to do. Please
get all the slaps.
All
talking about he's not on the same level as Hollywood. Like, he hasn't played the full season, bro. He had a groin tear. You know how long it takes you? It takes you a full year when you have a tear in the groin on that particular area. That impedes you from running as fast as you need to. That impedes you from doing a lot of things. He had a groin tear, and even coming out there on the groin tear after it healed, you still need a good year. Like I said. Even Torrey Smith talked about this. You're gonna feel it. So if you still feel it while you're running, you're not gonna be able to give your all. That's number one. But number two, he still came out there and produced every time he touched the ball. Every time he caught the ball, bro, he had a first down.
Mm-hmm. Dang. So
stop.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, stop. He had one injury. Stop, B. He ain't never had an injury during college. Stop.
B. Cam said, hey, Bateman will surpass Brown's stats next season. I can agree with that.
Man, I'm done. Come on, let's keep the party going, because I can't talk to foolery. Come on, man. You gotta justify your stuff by stats. Give me something. Give me a reason not to want to get at you another way. Come on, bro. I'm already on one right now. Let's go. Come on. Come on, say
hold on. Let's see if mine is actually agreeing with this guy.
Okay.
He said, I think y'all drinking the Propel purple Kool-Aid about receivers. The team get that young quarterback number one receiver. Bateman could be, but not there yet. I think Bateman
Okay, he's not there yet. I agree that he's not there. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But he will be. But he will be. That's the thing. I think Baltimore recognized what they were getting with Rashad Bateman. And just because he didn't come up and show first year what Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase was doing does not mean that he cannot come back in and have it this year. He was injured. They were working hard during the offseason, and they just happened to tweak those hammies. They didn't give him proper rest. And that's kind of where that trainer needs to come in and the nutritionist to let him know, like, hey, rest up.
He tore time out. He's not there yet. I agree he's not there yet. Obviously. I mean, y'all gotta say something. Y'all about to have me curse on Couch Riders. Man, come on now. Y'all gotta say something that makes some sense, boss. We know he's not there yet because he has not played a full season. If he would have came out his junior year instead of staying the senior year, he'd have been the number one receiver coming out. Hold on. No, Lisa. Hold on, Lisa.
I guess we hold on, Lisa.
No, you ain't got to tell him to give him no respect. Nah. I get that. You need to tell me something. He's nowhere near as good as that first he injury prone. He's not good as Brown. He's not this. He's not that. Get the young man some receivers. We got him. He's gonna have more receivers. We know he's gonna get more, but make no mistake, Bateman is the number one receiver right now, and he is the number one receiver. If every time you touch the ball, you get a first down. Does that not make any sense to y'all? That's not making no sense.
Hey, tell him. Like,
I'm just trying to understand what the situation is. Before he got hurt, during the whole training camp, he was giving everybody problems.
He gave Marlo the business, and Marlo said, "Yo, EDC, you got a real one here. You got a real one," because he was giving him that respect. Like, they had letting him know, like, "Hey, this dude is something serious to deal with. You need to pay, like, thank you for getting this guy on our squad." So, Jack, I just don't get it. I don't understand why you're saying he's not real talent. This dude is real talent on the squad. And the thing is, with the talent that has been brought in before him, I've said this before, Prochet had 39 touchdowns, 3,900 yards in college. 3,900. They brought him in, and he has produced when he has been called upon. Eric DeCosta has said this. When his number has been called, the dude has impressed.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Get back to mine because I wasn't putting you in the same category, but since you want to talk, we're going to talk. All right. I said he's not there yet. I agree with you on that. I didn't put you in the same category. But the point being is this. You got to give me some facts. Don't just say he's not there yet. I agree that he's not there yet, but he is a number one receiver. Why are we going to bring somebody else in to be the number one receiver? And we're not. The system is different. We don't run the same system as Cincinnati. We don't run the same system as San Francisco. He does his job. I'm guaranteeing this. I bet you get over 1,000 yards this year.
Boom.
I bet you get over 1,000. If you played half the season, more or less, right? Because he didn't come. He was supposed to come back week 3. He didn't come back until what? Week 6, week 7.
Yeah,
he came back the Miami game. He came back. That was his first game, was it not? No, the San Diego game was his first game. The Chargers game. Chargers game was his first game. And then after we played the Chargers, who did we play?
The Vikings.
We played the Vikings. Okay, so that's 2 games.
Yeah.
Right. During those games, he caught a first down. Okay, who we play after that?
Hang on, Brian. I'm saying something here. He's like, I think y'all don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying Rashad Bateman fan, and he will be number one wide receiver. I didn't think we need a better running mate with him.
I agree, but we have that will come because we don't know what they know. They must know something about. First of all, Tyler Wiles had a first round grade on him, so he was a steal because they thought he has an ACL. He had an ACL problem. Obviously, it's not bothering him anymore. So, as far as getting a running mate, we can get somebody with him. That's going to happen if they don't show up, or we're probably going to bring in a veteran. But my thing is this: don't say Jack is saying he's not good enough. he's saying that he's not good as Hollywood. I don't. It's not that I dislike Hollywood. I like Hollywood a lot, but don't discount somebody else because you like somebody else.
This man said he's a Steelers fan. No, he's talking about.
Oh, okay, Jack. We done with you.
Jack is a Steelers fan. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Maybe got invited in. Maybe Wilbur invited him in the room. You know, they sneak in.
Jack, we gonna put you in the corner.
Means he has a certain bias. That's what it means, Jack. You know, if you're a Steelers fan, you're gonna have a certain bias towards your team, and that's okay. And of course, there may be some.
He said that he talking about Hollywood. He said talking about Hollywood is better than Bateman. We know Hollywood's done better than Bateman.
Yeah, but he is not better.
You can't. Only way you can say something is as far as like if you go year by year. Right now, if you gonna compare rookie years, actually he had the same amount of yards as Hollywood did his rookie year. He had this. If you want to, we just talking facts right now.
Yeah,
Bateman and Hollywood had the same amount of yards their rookie year. Now let's see what happens next year. Look it up. Nobody had over 600 yards that year, and this was 2019 when Lamar won the MVP. See if any receiver had over 600 yards. None of them. Bateman had 500 yards. Very close to Hollywood, and he didn't play a full season. Come talk to me at the end of the season, bro. Y'all got me fired up. It ain't even camp yet, B. It ain't even camp. Y'all got me going, bro. Come on, son.
He's not a Steelers fan. He just got to be one of those the ones that be in the Raven space and spewing all the crazy stuff. So, that's okay. You know, we're gonna have a lot of those people that come in here that have certain opinions. And
it's all good, B. I'm already on. Stephen A. got me hyped. He got me hyped since the morning. My bad. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm losing it right now.
Yeah. So something we can all agree on is that the Steelers will finish last in the division. I think that that is a real possibility with what they have. However, they did go in and really, they picked up some offensive weapons. They really did pick up some offensive weapons. They got Calvin Austin. They got George Pickens. They talking about George Pickens got attitude issues, but guess what? As we have experienced ourselves, when it comes to a wide receiver, the diva mentality comes with the territory. Look at Hollywood. His diva mentality caused him to be in Arizona. When it came to, when it comes to Bateman, eventually we're going to hear a little bit of mouth from Bateman, from Bateman, whatever like that. But he's going to be on the field producing. You know what I'm saying? That's just passion that comes along with the position. With Pickens, he going to come over there and he going to produce, no problem. But he's going to have a little bit of a diva. That's just that mentality that comes with that position.
Oh. It's like basketball. It's like a shooter. You want to shoot the ball. Get the ball in my hands. That's the type of thing. Like you don't get. And the truth is that is true. What Brandon Marshall said. You don't get paid they don't get paid to block. That's why Boykin is not here. You don't get paid to block.
Yeah. Now, I wish there was like a clause in the contract, like, hey, wide receiver
can't block.
Yeah,
no rock. You can't block.
Every pancake block you get, that's an extra. Give him an extra, 50,000 or something like that. Like,
you gonna go to the Pro Bowl. You're gonna go to the Pro Bowl for all these good
blocks. My pancake block. You gonna put me on ESPN tonight because I gave this pancake block, guy. And that's
I don't get upset. Sorry, I'm sorry. Mine, I don't get upset about nothing. I'm very passionate when it comes to the Ravens. I got nothing but like this is the reason why I love doing the show with this man here is because it's the couch. Sitting on the couch with your family. Me and him don't always agree. So it is what it is. But if it was somebody else coming at Baltimore, now it's straight full football season mode. And my mind is there. So there's nothing to apologize about. I'm not upset. I'm just like, I'm already just on one, like I said, because it's Stephen A. They talked about the AFC North and then Stephen A. That's all I'm gonna just say.
Yeah. Stephen A. When it comes to Pittsburgh, they ain't gonna be able to throw that rock if they sitting on their back. And we basically got some burners ready to rock. I'm telling you, I say they will be. I say about mid-season, we're probably gonna have two of the nastiest linebackers out there because of Jabo and Owe go paired up and be nasty.
Might be three or four. I agree with JK. Just said something like he said. before. I don't know if he's still in here. He said Dalen Hayes might have about 6 to 7 sacks this year. I believe it. That Ben coming off the corner. I didn't think he was like that at Notre Dame. I guess because he was always playing off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But his pass rush is serious.
Looking forward to it. Let's see. There's a few. Okay, Wilbur saying he's a realistic, saying Jack realistic Ravens fan, not a homer. I like the rest of like, there's a bit of like sometimes there's realists and there's optimists and then there's pessimistic type fans. There are a lot of pessimistic Ravens fans when it comes out there. Like after the draft, there were so many pessimistic fans when they did not recognize outside of Baltimore, everybody was walking up to shake their hand saying, "Great draft. Great draft. You did your thing. Phenomenal." Meanwhile, there was part of Ravens flock that were like, "Where's our wide receiver? We had a horrible draft. Y'all don't believe in Lamar. He gonna be a New Orleans Saint next year." Like, what type of nonsense is this? Like, come on, bro.
They believe in Lamar.
Believe in your team, you know what I'm saying? Like,
getting back to 2019, you definitely believe in Lamar.
Yeah,
you definitely believe in him. I don't agree with some people saying
Will quit smoking that crack,
bro. Will just got jokes, I do disagree with some people saying I think I heard Ryan Mink and them like, they were talking about it does have that everybody keeps saying it has that 2019 feeling and no receiver was over 600 yards. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I do think that Bate is if he don't get 1,000, he's going to touch it. He's going to definitely touch it. And I think Mark Andrews is going to touch it too. I think if we're going to put that 2019 offense together with the passing schemes that T and Keith brought in, and you're going to marry those two, and we're going to make it happen. That's going to be I think that was the maturation of the offense anyway. That was supposed to be what was going to happen. But unfortunately with the injuries, it didn't come out that way. You know what I mean? Think about that. We would somebody said we don't throw the ball downfield. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's one of Lamar stays throwing deep passes. Like, that's what he does. But
I don't know. That's why I think it's just they want to see what they want to see perfectly put into their mindset. And it's not going to be perfect the way that you want it. It's not going to ever be what everybody else has got going on with their different offenses. Like I said, when it came to the Cardinals, they run an entirely different offense than what the Ravens run. If you're looking for the Ravens to do what the Cardinals are doing, then you ain't got to. No, we don't do that here. It's over there. You see that door right there?
Air raid, bro. We don't do the air raid.
It's a portal to whatever team you want to go to. Just walk in there. And then there's a taller than that too.
So, we don't do the air raid, bro. We do the air raid. You don't do the air raid. And that's what Hollywood wants to be. That's what got him to become a first rounder, being in that system. And he was with Collar, and that's where you want to be. Hey,
let him go. Let him go. The thing is, the dude's production is not going to be as heavy as he was. He was the featured wide receiver here in this offense. And I think, a lot of other receivers did not get opportunities because Lamar featured him in this offense. Remember when he featured Snead? Snead was the main wide receiver at one point in time. And then all of a sudden it's Hollywood because they had that chemistry. So you got to look at it like, hey, Baltimore is going to find different avenues of doing things. It's not going to always be the way that everybody else wants it, but it is the way that they get success. To be 6th ranked in the league in offense this past season lets us know that they do things differently, that a yard is gained differently in Baltimore than it is gained anywhere else in the league.
Hold on one second, man. Let me take this call. I'm going to get on camera for a minute.
I'm going to pay some bills here. Let's see. Delicious says, he said, I thought we had a great draft, but definitely thought we should have did something to replace Hollywood. I thought after trading him, we would have double dipped at wide receiver. I think Eric DeCosta said it clear. He was like, hey, we know what this feels like to have our pockets picked. So maybe Calvin Austin was one of those ones that got taken from us. Maybe Pickens was one of those ones that we could have had, but it just didn't pan out that way. But honestly, I prefer the way that we handle business in this draft because it provides depth at every other position. Plus, it shows confidence in the guys that he has in the house. Travis says, did you start watching the NFL in 2020 for the first time? I think he might have been talking to somebody else here. It's plenty of, I watched all the way back. I remember the hurtful years of dealing with garbage quarterbacks for the longest. Jack says, like trying to emulate 2019 is not the answer. Going backwards is not going to help. You don't know that. You do not know that. The thing about 2019 was a unique year and people weren't ready for three tight ends to come out and actually start balling the way that we had our three tight ends balling. Honestly, if it looks something like 2019 again, I think Lamar's going to flourish. Let's keep going here. So y'all might not like this, but Steven hates most black running quarterbacks. I don't know. I guess I got to watch more Stephen A. because I'm not really sure if he has a bias against black quarterbacks. But I don't know. See, that's not going backwards. It's emulating what kills. Yes. So here we go. Baltimore Zone. What's going on, man? So I think it's an age thing and a new Ravens fans thing. The 19 to 20-year-olds think differently than the 96 group of fans. Yes, there's a lot of players out there, a lot of fans, that have a mentality of I want what I want and I want it now. And of course, players do as well. And they think it all is brought in by number one wide receivers. But the Patriots have shown us anything. They showed us that the game's not won with a phenomenal outside wide receiver one. It's not. It's one between the trenches. It's one between a great ground game, a good defense, and then yes, you can have those playmakers on the outside. But also, the game's not won with just one particular type of offense. If you go look at when the Eagles won the Super Bowl against the Patriots, look what they're running. They're running what we run. Go take a look at it. Thought you should know. Jack says, our top rushing attack in 2019 got shut down and out number 5 defense gave up 200 rushing. Defense and running ain't the answer. We just got rid of a defense coordinator because we believe that defense is the answer and we got to do it better. When it comes to our rushing attack, those players were hurt. They were hurt, significantly hurt, and they didn't give Gus a chance. Gus could have came out there and did something big. They went away from him when he was actually the one coming out there with 5+ yards of carry. So the ground game is essential to winning ball games, man. You control the ground, you control the time possession. You get above 37 minutes time possession, you can win a ball game. Welber says, do you think Lamar takes less sacks this year because of his new O-line, or do you think he'll still hold the ball too long, trying to prove he can't throw narrative wrong? Okay, so when it comes to Lamar and that holding the ball too long, it reminded me of Deshaun Watson. So Deshaun was holding the ball entirely too long during the regular season when he was playing, and he was catching all those sacks. I think he had 48. Was it 58? I think it was 40 to 50 some sacks in one season because he was holding the ball too long. And then I see Lamar come out there and do something similar along those lines when you know that your offensive line is in shambles. That was a major problem last season. I hope he gets away from that, and I'm hoping those QB coaches, the 3D QB Academy, that they're working with him. They work with some greats as well. That they're working on his time and release. Hopefully, his mental clock is there to recognize, all right, look, it's time to get rid of this rock or bolt. Like he should be just like in 2019. Check 1, check 2, screw this, let's run. Let's go. That's how his game should be. Is that going to hurt some receivers? Yeah, but they got to recognize that how we do business here ain't necessarily how we do business, how everybody else does business. All right, prediction. We will sign an undrafted free agent wide receiver that is over 6'3". We did. We signed a lot of them. we signed quite a few. So let's go back to it. Mekhi Polk, 6'3". Trayvon Clark, 6'4". Emeka Emzi, 6'3". Slade Bowden. Nope, never mind. He's under the he can't get on this ride. As at 5'11". Then there was Devin Williams, 6'5". Like I said, 207. But 207, it actually can block. He was a willing blocker from what I could see on his tape. Let's see. Baltimore says they want to pick need in the draft instead of trusting the board. Yeah, there's a lot of people that want to pick needs instead of trusting the best player available. I think that's where Baltimore succeeds because they sit there and they see it fall to them because they didn't do too much trading this time around when it came to the later rounds. They trusted the players that fell to them instead of bouncing after and chasing after that need. Yeah, they could have reached and got Calvin Austin, but what would they have missed out on? Would we have missed out on Kohler? Would we have missed out on Isaiah Likely? More than likely. GK says Kyler Murray a crybaby, throwing a hissy fit for his college wide receiver teammate. I think Kyler was throwing a hissy fit because he wanted to get paid. He wants to get paid bad. I don't think this had to do with Hollywood. Hollywood was a Band-Aid on a big old issue. This guy wants big time money because he sees it coming at him every which way, and he's afraid that while he's getting paid these little ducats right now, that he's not going to get his major check and he's going to get hurt. He's trying to secure his bag in that way. Is he being a spoiled brat about it? Absolutely, 100%. But there's nothing they can really do about it except, pay the man. Don't have to pay him a year early because he's being a little girl about it. And this is basically turning into the NBA. And it's kind of sad. I'll be honest with you. When it comes to watching the NBA players and the fits they throw, or the second they want to get out of a team, they get to get out of a team. And then the owners over here in the NFL kind of really succumbing to whatever they want. There was a time when deals were concrete. When you signed a deal, you signed your name to it. You was a man, you stood by that daggone deal. And now because you looking over and seeing what somebody else has got in their pocket, you're like, oh, I want to redo my deal. Oh, I want to redo my deal. Instead of actually going for what you got. It's a little frustrating. If I was an owner, I wouldn't know how to balance a checkbook when I know that everybody else is bugging for a contract or wanting out for some reason or whatever. How in the world are you supposed to manage an entire team when everybody's being spoiled children? But, that's just I feel like that's the owner's perspective. Then, of course, on the player's side, they're like, hey, look, I got to go after that bag. I mean, Tyreek, I kind of don't blame him for wanting to go after a bag when he sees Devontae Adams out there getting 30 mil, when he sees Nuke getting 30 mil, and he's getting paid little ducats. So he needs to go after him. He needs to go after that bag. So I can see both sides of the situation. Let's see. Travis says, reverse that statement. That was my reply. So, yeah. So the reverse the statement would be saying that Hollywood was crying like a little baby because he wants to go play with his college teammates. I'm with you on that. I think he just thinks that he's going to eat more, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right. So Conklin says, so explain 2019 we had by far the best rushing game, a top 5 defense, got bounced in the first round. Is our goal to just make the playoffs, or is it just to be contenders? Well, when it came to the 2019 playoffs, when you go take a look at that very first play, the first big shot play, that was when Earl Thomas was out of position, sneaking up, and he was out of position like he was normally out of position the majority of the season. Every time he talked trash, we paid for it on the back end because there was a deep shot that he was supposed to be back there covering. Then, of course, he got ushered off the field because of his play. He got ushered off the field by Henry because he just wasn't big enough to actually make that tackle, which means like, hey, if you ain't big enough to make the tackle, why are you in the box? Do your job. So, of course, the Ravens were playing from behind. So how can you play from behind on the ground? It's hard to play from behind on the ground, and that's why the Ravens could not do the ground game the entire game because they were actually playing from behind because the defense slipped. The defense slipped on that. So that's I don't know what Kam Ru is here. Hang on a second.
Right. It's all good. It's all good. You chopping it up. Go ahead. What happened?
Just trying to explain it. Conklin is going off about 2019's playoffs. Well, I mean, when you got injuries, you're not trusting Gus, and then you were playing from behind because of a bad defense at the time. They just kind of let things roll through them. What you want to do? What do you want the Ravens to do whenever that happens?
This is my thing when people say are teams just trying to make the playoffs, so they're trying to be contenders. There's no shot at you, Jack. I think we done sparring for the night. I can go about 20, 40, 50 more rounds, but I'm gonna keep it light because then I have to start pulling out the book of all the facts. What team is really trying to, unless you trying to tank or unless you still in rebuild mode, what team makes the playoffs is a contender? Did you think Cincinnati was a contender? Nobody thought they were a contender last year.
Yeah, I laughed at people last year. I laughed at a lot of people in that AFC North war room, and they said Cincinnati going all the way. And I was like,
no. Yeah, but then They made it to the play. They made it to the Super Bowl. So
they're like Super Bowl, like
what? So no team that makes it to the playoffs is looking to get bounced early. I don't understand when people saying that. The whole point is you got to get into the dance to get crowned the king. If you don't get into the dance, you can't get crowned nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand when people say that. Like, I heard it a few times. Like, are you just trying to get into the playoffs, or are you trying to be a contender? Well, part of getting the playoffs is part of being a contender is getting into the playoffs. Yes.
Yeah, we're looking for Cinderella to get us into that daggone, to be that Cinderella to get into the dance that nobody believes in. And that's going to be what's going to happen this year. People don't believe in teams like us and teams like Houston right now. I'll be honest, Houston did some amazing things during this draft this year. A lot of people going to overlook them. A lot of people going to overlook us. I mean, not in this draft, but they overlooking us free agency wise. And they came after our heads on this free agency. And then in the draft, we show up. But then people mad about one little element of the team that has guys who are ready to compete over there.
Hold on, bro. This dude.
What's that now?
I thought I was done for the night with the spawn. I guess I'm not. Okay. Now the Ravens aren't built. I'm talking about Jack. The Ravens aren't built for a Super Bowl. They're built to be competitive. What team isn't built to be competitive, Jack? There's not one team that's built.
This is regurgitated stuff came out of a Twitter flow space.
Make some damn sense, bro. You got to make some sense out of what you're saying. Yeah. I'm getting, I'm trying to lose.
It's just like it's. I just don't get it. Like this is regurgitated stuff out of those Twitter spaces. I keep hearing this over and over again. Competitive, but not ready to win a championship. You can't get to
the competitive last year.
Huh?
We was competitive last year with
competitive last year
on the couch. We was competitive with nobody there. Come on, B. Come on, bro. What you doing?
And we had all these players on IR. We were still competitive. And the thing was, we still barely missed the playoffs. Barely missed the playoffs. We was the top of the AFC. And then we ended up by being the bottom of the AFC North, whatever. But that was due to injuries and finally falling off because of those injuries. This year, it's going to be a good year for the Ravens. Are they going to be competitive? Yes. Is the rest of the league going to be competitive? We saw the things, the transactions.
Nobody was talking about the Bengals last year. Now all of a sudden, you a wave hopper, bro. You a real wave hopper. I'm sorry. You a true wave. I was about to say something real raw, but I'm gonna keep it light. You a wave hopper because you can't. And nobody was thinking about the Bengals being the top of the AFC until this past year.
And then look at
they went into. They didn't even have a great record to be on the top of the AFC.
And if KC, if we really talking about KC, are they really built to win a Super Bowl right now, or are you just saying that just because they got Pat Mahomes? Because they were missing some pieces. They were missing some pieces. I don't think they're as competitive as their counterparts in that division right now. There's a lot in that division. Like I said, when it's all said and done, by playoff time, I expect the Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs all to have black eyes coming into that daggone thing because they're going to beat the mess out of each other because that's how competitive they are right now. And I think the Chiefs are probably looking – they're going to be – it's going to be a struggle bus. They will not be the top of that division when it's all said and done next year. Or this year.
I got to take my head to the foolery, bro.
Let's see here.
The Chiefs are still a better team than us. How? Tell me how they're a better team.
He said the Chiefs are still better than us? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I'm just trying to – you got to – how are they better team?
I'm pretty sure the last time we faced off, hang on, what was saying?
Won that game, so how are they a better team? Tell me how they're a better team. We have the most injuries by far than any team in the league last year. How are they? How are they a better team?
Tell me, facts. Here it is.
What about the Chargers and the Raiders? What about the Chargers and the Raiders? They're built to win right now. Why? Because they got more receivers than we do. Somebody talk to me, please.
They're a well-rounded team right now, no doubt. But at the same time, like they had to move from where they were to actually being a certain level of competitor. The Raiders,
okay,
they had to go get competitive, and they did some things during the offseason that were impressive. But at the same time, we got all these starters coming back that puts us back at a level of competitiveness as well.
You ain't gotta explain that, B, because the truth is this: no team lines up. I don't get paid. I don't go out. I don't care if I'm playing against LeBron James. I don't go out on the court to lose. I don't go if I'm playing football. I don't go on the field to lose. Everybody is competitive, bro. That's stupid. I'm sorry. You got to make some sense. I'm sorry, Jack. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying everybody is competitive. You go into the draft to draft players to help your needs. You try to build a team. It's chess, not checkers, homie. Chess, not checkers. I'm not doing what he's doing on the left. I'm doing what works for me. You got to make some sense out of what you're saying. My bad, Couch.
No, you're good. You're good. This makes a lot of sense. Hopefully this is answering a lot of these Twitter folks who be in these Twitter spaces yapping.
Make some sense. Now you got to list them up. Because do you, huh? Now the Colts are better than us. Who else is better than us?
Wait, how are the Colts better than us?
Stop.
Where do you get? Hold up, you got a list. Let's see this nonsense.
Object these nuts, bro. You ain't being objective. You ain't being objective.
Maybe the Bengals, maybe. Broncos, no. Just because they brought in Russ Face Wilson does not make them better than the Ravens.
I'll be right back. I got to get on this call. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like the Colts, I'm sorry. What's their centerpiece right now? What's their centerpiece? Oh, it's Matty Ice. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not it. That's not it. They all got better rosters and we're not even close. You was a lie and a half. Hey, look here, folks. Y'all know what to do. Y'all figure out the slap hand. Get this man to slip the skibbity paps. The slaps because he deserves them right now. All right, GK is probably telling the truth right here. He said, negative, the Chiefs will not win another Super Bowl for a while. The offense will only take you so far. Their defense is not up to par. He ain't lying. There's still work to be done when it comes to that Chiefs defense. There's still work to be done on the offense. He still got to gain chemistry with Juju and the rest of these guys that they picked up. There's work to be done, no doubt. When it comes to the Ravens, we are ready for revenge tour because of the fact we're getting these guys off of IR and some of the chemistry is there already. I see what Weber says. Delicious. They are definitely lucky. They need the rest of the North to be injured, and they only won the division by 0.5 games. Hope they enjoyed their fluke season. I think you're talking about the Steelers or something along those lines. Let's see. And it's not being I don't think it's really being objective. I think that's being more pessimistic than being objective. All right, so yeah, that's why I said objective. Nah. Let's keep rolling. I don't want to block them. I don't want to block them. I just want to say, like, hey, like your opinion, it matters, but at the same time, like, have some more bases. Give me some numbers. Give me something that actually makes some sense there because it's not making sense right now. This team, the Ravens they're developing a team right now that is competitive, that will come in and show y'all what's up. And I think to have that mentality of that we're not better than the Colts, I think that's dead wrong. I think that's really, really wrong. I mean, right now, like, nah, no way. All right, so that's why we went 8-3 with the most injuries in the last 20 years. Definitely not from our roster. Yeah, we definitely went 8-3 with a ton of injuries. We could totally be a competitive team. And yeah, Lisa, yeah, we fully agree. Jack's not making sense right now. Saying, get him out of here. All right, so let's see. Delicious says exactly what, but nobody talks about that. Travis says, you a fanboy, you need to leave, boy. Bengals at couch. All right, Wilbur says, nah, don't block the guy. He's speaking facts. The Ravens, you just want to pour it in the pot. That's all you want. You pour gasoline on the fire, buddy. All right, so the Bills, yes, I think they are a lot better of a team this year, and I think they can be somewhat of a contender. Let's just say, if we're talking about levels of teams that are actually phenomenal. I'll be honest, like the Bills are a really, really good team. But do I think the Ravens, like, hey, we go toe to toe with them, we're gonna lay over? No. I think it's going to be one heck of a bout, and they're going to have more trouble preparing for the Baltimore Ravens than they will for other teams because we do those things so differently. All right, Chris, man, what's good, man? I didn't think I seen you in the room. So the Ravens had a great draft. They picked up some solid undrafted wide receivers. Yes, we did. And I wanted to talk about a few of the other players that we picked up that were undrafted. So I talked about the inside linebackers. I talked about the wide receivers. We talked about the guy who tackled like a gator. But we also picked up somebody that plays. I know he's going to be a camp arm, but I did see his play, and it was impressive from what I could see as far as his quick release, and that was Anthony Brown. So he's got a 64% completion rate. He's a dual threat quarterback. He scored 9 rushing touchdowns in 2021. He's 6'1", 228 pounds, a Boston College transfer. He has the arm, and he beat out the top recruit, Tyler Show. So when it comes to Anthony Brown, maybe he's not more than a camper. Maybe, let's just say that Huntley decides to show up in the preseason in a way that, Seattle's like, say what? Oh, yeah, we're going to spend that pick. So they might send something over for Tyler Huntley to come and be that leader of that organization there. I'm not sure. But if he is, then we got Anthony Brown here who could be a decent backup for Lamar, or at least that's what I'm thinking. Idea. We haven't seen him take a snap yet as far as training camp or anything along those lines. But I'm looking at his college tape, and I'm seeing a guy that can really match what we do here and do it well. Then there was another offensive tackle, Brodarius Ham. So this guy's about 334, or he was 334 pounds. He went and dropped down at 306 pounds. He's a former three-star recruit out of Griffin, Georgia. He's a starter at right tackle. He's played 34 games. He cut out the red meat, changed his diet completely up, and he beat cancer. I love to root for guys that can beat something that's as serious as cancer in their lives. So I was definitely a big fan of Barry when he beat cancer, and I was hoping he got another shot. But this guy beat cancer. I think it was lymphoma in 2016, and came out to be a mauler. So coming out of Auburn, I'm excited for the guy. Let's go. Let's get this Brodarius Ham thing on here. Let's see. He has experience as a starter at right tackle. Then, of course, let's move forward here. There was a safety. I know that y'all probably heard this name before. It is not the same guy. We got Chris Moore. Chris Moore coming out of Georgia State is 6 foot, 210 pounds. He played 5 seasons there, so he's a super senior. He played 2 in Georgia State and 3 in Virginia, and he was a 2-year starter when he got to Georgia State. He's the 4th leading tackler with 70 stops in 2021. He ran a 4.5 4.40. He's a part-time halfback, which was kind of funny because I was watching him catch tosses and really do well on those tosses. And he's a thumper. So we got another inbox guy who could really thump. And then defensive line, Tyler Johnson. Not to be confused with wide receiver Tyler Johnson. This guy, he was wearing the same colors as the Minnesota Gophers, but he was from Arizona State. 6'4", 280 pounds, defensive lineman. He's a hustler. I mean, this is guy, motor is what I see here. Strong at the point of attack, good field awareness. He plays to the whistle. He's good. He's got good instincts and good get off. I know that sounds weird, but he's good get off. I mean, straight from the go. Once he can really time those snaps, and he's getting after the quarterback. Of course, if he's timing them too well and they catch him off, he might get some offsides penalties at some times. And then, as far as his cons, though, he lacks a little bit of the he misses some tackles here and there. He needs more pass rush moves. And he's interior. That's kind of his specialty is interior. He needs to be able to move it outside a bit. So let's see. Oh, sorry. No, I had it backwards. Interior is not his thing. So he needs to be able to stay to the outside because interior at 280 pounds is not where it's at. Let's move forward. We talked about Diego. There's another quarterback we brought in out of University of Waterloo. So he's short. So it looks like he's about 5'11", but he's elusive as all get out. He's a first-team All-Canadian. I don't know if y'all seen the Canadian football, but it's a little different over there. So they do some things different as far as how they put the receivers in motion forward. You can actually run forward before the snap over there, but he excelled with that type of offense. He only played in the 6 games, but in those 6 games, this guy had 1,465 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 629 rushing yards with 3 rushing touchdowns. So that was pretty impressive with a 63.4 completion rate. He's more of a read option quarterback, but he moves the pocket with the snap. Some of the design plays were actually moving the entire pocket as he rolled over to the right. Now, of course, that takes some of the options away from him, but I'd say he was a pretty solid quarterback. But I think he still needs to learn how to go through those progressions because he was kind of locked in on whoever it was on that flood concept. and then he would just lock into the deepest threat there. Because usually they were wide open. I don't know why, but maybe it was just terrible defenses in the Canadian Football League. But he's there regardless. Happy to have him there. And then there's I want to say running back Ricky Person Jr. So this guy's got solid hands. Solid hands for a running back. Decent vision. He doesn't go down after contact. He does a little dancing in the back, but it's part of his vision. It's part of him actually seeing the hole and patient to the hole and then fast through the hole once he gets there. I like his run style. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in camp. And then I think my final, I got three left. Denzel Williams, 5'10", 185 pounds, ran a 4.47 40. This is a defensive back, by the way. He excels in man coverage, or hopefully he shines against the nickel, or shines at nickel, excuse me. And he's a 3-time all-conference player. He's 3 sports scars. Got athletic NFL speed. He's not crazy fast, but he can keep up with most of the competition at wide receiver. So he's got that. He's a Long Island high school champion. I think they had an undefeated season in high school, and he just took it all the way, helped that team get there. And then, of course, there's the defensive tackle, Rashad Nichols. This guy comes out of, I want to say, Stephen F. Austin. I believe that's what it is. 6'3", 306 pounds. He has 10 sacks in 10 games. 10 starts, excuse me. 10 sacks and 10 starts. He earned all Western Conference recognition, and he had 15.5 tackles for loss. So with a guy at 306 pounds, we're maybe thinking 3 to 5 technique, defensive end, something along those lines. But we'd like to see what he is going to bring to camp. And then finally, this guy here is going to have an uphill battle because of all the offensive linemen we brought in. But Aaron Johnson, 6'5", 303 pounds out of San Diego State. He's got experience at left tackle and right tackle, and he's good with run blocking. So anybody who's good with run block, come on to Baltimore because that's what we do. Let's go back over here and pay some more of these bills because I have a feeling Jack's still over here trolling. So Travis says, we have different definitions of roster talent. And that doesn't mean anything without the team. I'm with you. So, yes, I think when it comes to roster talent, you got to recognize what's the best fit for the team. So, like, let's say defensive tackle, for instance. Defensive tackle, you have to have a team mentality. You have to recognize that you're not going to get all the glory. Nose tackle, you're not going to get all the glory. Sometimes you're just being lined up wherever that linebacker needs you to plug a hole so they can actually get their shine on. And so when it comes to contract time, of course, we're looking like, okay, where's the stats? But hopefully that agent is digging into the weeds and saying, hey, look, this guy helped this linebacker get his shine on. And helped this outside linebacker get to those sacks because he was doing the dirty work of the stunts. When it comes to the Ravens defense, more than likely it's going to be an unselfish type of scheme. You're not seeing the numbers that you're seeing across the league because of the way that this 3-4 is set up. It's not meant for somebody to get their ultimate shine on. They're rotating players in and out, because Odafe could have had extra sacks last year, but there were times. Hang on just 1 second. Did I miss something on the donations here? Oh, okay. So Jack, I appreciate you. Travis, I appreciate you. He's saying Jack won't donate, so I will. And for those of you who appreciate it, like I said, any of these funds usually it's going to go to Cameron's QT trips because he likes to go to QT because apparently it's nothing like this place that like they got the pretzels. Oh man, it's an amazing spot. I'm sorry, but I get excited about when he wants to go to QT. He gets his cinnamon pretzel. I get my salted pretzel or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of what it goes to the snack fund. So appreciate it. All right. So anyway, talking about Calais Campbell, definitely a Hall of Famer. This is one guy that, we saw him flourish like in his 30s. When he hit his 30s, you really started to see him really go on top of his game. But before that, he had some times where he shined. But here in Baltimore's defense, it's still going to be times where he's going to have unselfish play in order for others to shine. And then you see him you do see him show up because he's just massive and can't be missed. But there are times he has disappeared, but others have actually excelled because of that. Jack saying 1 through 52 talent-wise, we're in the bottom half. Where are you? What are you saying? Now I think you're just trolling, bro. You just trolling. Like I get it. There are some things that no, hold up. No, you ain't. So John, yeah, thank you. Justin Tucker is a Hall of Famer. 1 to 52 talent, saying we're in the bottom half at AFC. And where are you getting these facts from, or where are you getting this false malarkey from? Because I mean, if you look at it, what corners do we have? We got Peters. We got Humphrey. I mean, we got one of the best safeties to come out of the draft in years. I mean, as we're going through the roster, we got a ball hawk who all he did during his career, the start of his career, was intercept Tom Brady. That was what he did. That was what he was brought in to do. And yes, he missed a tackle in a key playoff game against the Vikings to help Stephon Diggs have a great celebration and move on to the next round. But he's learned since then and has become a phenomenal free safety since then. So we got two basically ball hawks sitting back there. You're talking about our talent is 10 of one of 50, or the 1 through 52. He's saying we don't have that talent on the roster. Are you serious? Our quarterback is phenomenal, a MVP. Our tight end is one of the best tight ends in football right now. Led the league, led all tight ends in receiving yards. Come on, where you coming from with this here? Our left tackle is definitely one of the best left tackles in the league when healthy. I'm talking about a full healthy roster. You're looking at J.K. Dobbins. Oh, hang on right quick. Kam Ru's back.
Wait, how old are you?
Oh, sorry. He's on the phone. All right, so he's taking a call still. I didn't know he was still on that call, but here we are. So Bless Brian saying, yeah, get him out of here already. You guys getting on our nerves. Yeah, but like I said, just give him the slaps. Everybody in this room, if you give him the hand, y'all use the hand signal. Like, yeah, Bless Brian showed him how to get the slaps. Get this man all the skippity paps, because obviously he ain't it. He ain't lost his daggone mind. So anyway, Chris White is saying we get a top 15. We got a top 15 roster. If another receiver steps up with Bateman, we are a top 10 roster. Prochet and Wallace, they're going to step up, bro. Duvernay has already stepped up. We already know Duvernay snatched and snaps away from key players. He basically benched Wallace. So if we're just talking about what's already stepping up, Bateman and Duvernay, if we just got those two, and if any of these wide receivers between Devin Williams, between Trayvon Clark, between MZ, between Polk, between Bolden, if any of these guys step up, we're gonna have a nice competition at camp that makes it even better. This is a team that is going to be balling, man. It's going to be exceptional. So anyway, so Bless is saying that this guy's trolling. He's from Mars or something. So I honestly think there's a few guys that are trolling. Hey, Kam Ru, are you ready to hop back on, or I don't know? He's on the phone call having a great old time over there. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, so yeah, like I said, or Duvernay is balling. All right, so if y'all need to learn how to slap Jack in here, this is how you do it. You go ahead and give him the skippity paps. That is how we give the skippity paps on this show for people who need to be slapped. All right, so let's go. Delicious says, let's go ahead and give to Mandrews. He's the best tight end. Absolutely. There's some facts here. Let's see. The potential is there. Potential is definitely there to be great. It's absolutely. I don't know where Jack went, but glad he stopped commenting for a little bit. Actually, yeah, continue to give him the slap. Yeah, slap, skibbity pap. Give him the skibbity paps, because that's where he needs to be right now. So let's see. So there was a couple of things I wanted to go over, and I think I went over those pieces. And then, I wanted to just talk about the draft, because I felt like there was, that first round, like I said, I was kind of a little upset initially. Because what I wanted was off the screen. Hold up, we're going back. We got some skippity paps here still to give out. So Bless still giving out the skippity paps. All right, Bless is saying everybody give Jack a slap. Absolutely, there you go. Skippity pap, give him a hand. Slap. He said, "How do you get a black emoji?" Chris, what? All right, Kam Ru is missing out on this here. We got all the skippity paps going down. And I think he's still on the phone. Let's see here. Let me see.
Yeah.
He's still on the phone over there. I don't know. He's having a blast. But yes, when it came to our draft, we had a phenomenal draft. Like I said, there are other teams in the league that are absolutely jealous of what we were able to get at that position. And then, to break the news, thanks for breaking the news. I think D3 said it on here as well. that Justin Houston actually signed his tender. He got a UFA tender that's about $2.3 million according to Jonas Safers, and that's going to be a great value for an edge rusher who was unlucky to finish with only 4.3 sacks last year. I think with this guy coming back to the team, does he have the speed to get her done like he did before? No, but this guy teaches technique better than anybody else. I think he has great hand technique. I don't know if you watched it last offseason, but he was sitting there giving great technique tips to a lot of players that are on the team. He gave a lot of tips to Odafe, and Odafe gave him credit saying, hey, this guy can coach it up. He can definitely coach it up. Yes, I'm with you. Definitely skippity pap that Jack. Yeah, I don't know if he's still in the run, but I think he got the skippity paps. So good luck to Jack. And I'm saying I'll take Houston, and so hopefully the pass rush will be better. I think the pass rush will be significantly better, no doubt about that. So if they run a traditional defense, Houston is going to go off. So the thing about Houston, I think he's going to be a decent run stopper as well. So that's not his one. He doesn't just have the one strength, no pass rush. And I think he can actually start. He's great against the run. And I'm excited about Dalen Haynes as well. So let's just look at it. We have our depth chart right here in front of us at pass rusher, healthy. Let's say everybody's healthy at this particular moment. Okay, we got Odafe. We got probably a tie between Ajabo and Bowser. And then behind Odafe, we got Houston. And then behind the tie over here, we got Hayes. And then we still got Ferguson, who's still there. So I mean, that's still somebody who can get moved in to be more of that 3-5, or it's gonna be more of the 5. But excited to see what he's going to do, with that position move to defensive end versus outside linebacker. Because I'd like to see him used how G.I. Ward was being used. And then let's see. So Dalen could be phenomenal. He could be. I have seen Dalen's tape, and I've seen him in the preseason, and he actually was faster on the get off than a couple of the guys on the squad already. I think he was faster on the get off than Odafe. And that was when he was playing against the Washington football team. So I can see his get off was a lot better. But I mean, that was just one game. But I'm thinking, hey, with he got that type of jets, let's see what he got. All right. So the thing is, I don't think we're going to cut Wolf. So, and the reason being is because the contract number is just entirely too high. I think it's like $3 million of dead space if we cut him this year. I think after that June 1st time frame, maybe there's probably a less of a fee that's going to be against the cap. Yeah, I think Ferguson could end up being that cap casualty because we got a lot of depth now. Right? I think we're sitting good now that we got Houston because we got Bowser, we got Jabo, we got Owe, we got Hayes and Houston. Yeah, so we sitting straight. We're sitting straight at outside linebacker. So Hayes looked so good before the injury, in my opinion. Yeah, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that in camp. I want to see them completely, like iron sharpening iron at camp. Do guys out showing up big time. Then we got, it says, Wesley says, if the secondary can cover better this year, it should be a better pass rush in 2022. Yes, absolutely. I think the back end helps out the front end a lot. And if we got both of our corners who can handle business, and then, of course, slot will be a question. It will be a big-time question, but I thought we picked up a corner that I watched this game, and I thought he was very good at Denzel. I think Denzel was good at man coverage. Put him in the slot. If that's what he excels at right now, go ahead and put him in the slot. Let's see what he can do with the man coverage, and I'm hoping that will make this secondary that much better. Ultimately, that test will come when we come to play Cincinnati. Will we have the weapons that we need to face Cincinnati? So, defensively, I think when it comes to our defensive line, yes. When it comes to our corners, yes. Our nickel, still a question mark, but at the same time, if they have a 3-safety system out there, it could be that may answer the question out there. Travis says, I think Matabike forces a Wolf pay cut. I fully agree. I think Wolf either gets a pay cut or he gets bounced. And let's see. Restructure Wolf 2-year. That's really a 1-year deal, maybe. And Baltimore Zone saying and can cover. I heard. I think he's talking about was it Wolf first. The secondary can cover. Matabike can cover. I don't know about that. Sorry, I'm all over the place with my comments. It says Ferguson might be gone, but with the Jabo being injured, he might be there. ATM might be there. Who's ATM? All right. So have you heard any news about the current punter position? Anyone cut yet? The thing is, we know the Ravens not going to keep two punters. They're not going to keep two punters. Sam Cock is over the hill, way over the hill, and I think it's just time to actually save that extra buck. They drafted a punter in the 4th round over Calvin Austin for a reason, because they believed in this guy's talent. They think he's better than the rise of this punter guru that I think the Bills got. So if we're picking up this guy, Stout, and Stout's got, Stout's anywhere near decent the way Cook punts the ball. Excuse me. If he's anywhere near the talent level of Sam Cook, then we got to get rid of Cook. So maybe under McDonald, we see the return of Sack Daddy. Let's see here. Oh, can Hayes cover? Yeah, I think Hayes can actually cover. Let's see. All right, he said he can't kick past 35 yards. Good hang, no distance. So if he can't flip a field, that's probably a problem. I mean, that's something I want to see, is if he can actually flip a field. And maybe I'll go back and watch some more tape on a punter, which I normally don't go back and watch tape on a punter. But just for you, John, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be a little painful. Oh gosh. All right, Jack says, just being objective, we have a bottom 5 roster talent-wise in the AFC. It's not a bottom 5 roster in the talent-wise. That is a subjective opinion. We'll respect it, but at the same time, we fully disagree. A majority of us in this room disagree with that comment. Our roster is not a bottom 5. We are, just because there was a lot of action that went on in the free agency, did not mean that Baltimore got so bad that they are bottom 5 talent-wise. Did Baltimore finish last in the AFC North? Yes, but that was due to injuries. Injuries were a big piece of that. Harbaugh being a little bit of a gambler is a big reason why that happened, because we lost more games within 2 points than anybody in the league last year because of the gambles that we took and because of the injuries that we had. So that's just part of what happened. Now, as far as our roster right now, all starters healthy, ready to rock. No, we are not a bottom 5 roster. Just a lot of people made more expensive moves. And just because you spend the money does not mean that it's going to make you 100% a better team. So you notice somebody declining recently. I think that was probably the punter. Oh, yeah, Cook. And so Cook has been the leading punter for the last 20 years. We'll see in training camp. And that's the thing. I appreciate the 20 years, but when you look at it, like, so if we're looking at it half glass, half empty, or even further than that, how much he got left? Because he gave 20 great years in Baltimore. 20 great years is a long time to be doing this job, especially at punting. So if he can, of course, then it comes to the aspect of, let's just say he kicks a punt, he punts one out, right? That means we got 10 men on the field. Is he going to be a willing tackler? Is he going to be that extra man that we need out there to prevent touchdowns from happening? I'm not sure. I say let's go with the young buck. John says, "Thanks, Jack, for the money. Keep it where your mouth is." Or I respect that. Like you said, put your money where your mouth is. I respect it. Okay, I appreciate you. Yeah, definitely. Putting the money up. Supporting the Couch Rider Report. I appreciate that. Like I say, it goes out to help my son Cameron on his QT trips, because like I said, we go to see the allergist and then we go to QT on Saturday. So, I appreciate that. So Delicious says definitely a top 3 team in the AFC in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, right now, if you had to say top teams in the AFC, Bills. I mean, I got them at the top of the list, and that's a definitive. But the rest is really a toss up. Honestly, if I'm really ranking based off of stuff that happened this offseason or whatever, I got the Raiders pretty high up there, and that's because they got Devontae on that squad. And they also made a couple of moves that were underneath that on defense that really helped things happen. They got AA over there for cheap. They got him for $4 million. And so that's no slouch. You saw what he was able to do for Baltimore when he was here. I think that they silently got better. When you see Darren Waller and Devontae Adams line up over there with Jacobs, I mean it's a pretty good offensive core right there, and that's not even counting Renfro, who is a really solid route runner, who doesn't get the desert. He didn't get the credit that he deserves over there. I think that is a really solid team, and I'm definitely going to watch the Raiders. Not a full fan, but I am interested to see what they're going to do in that division because they may rise to the top. I know everybody was bragging on the Chargers because of all the things that they did, but I think the Raiders may rise to the top this year. All right, so Bill Sills, what's happening? It's easily a top 3 roster unless you tripping. So let's just call it. If I was saying Ravens, or excuse me, Bills 1. I'd say Bengals, if they fix the offensive line issues, and it shows because I saw them do some moves. We can say that they're number 2. That's a fair assessment. 3, it could be a toss-up between the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Raiders, to be honest. And then the rest, I'm putting them down. I'm putting them down low. Because, I mean, what's coming out of the NFC? What's coming out of the AFC South? Anybody know what's coming up out of the AFC South? Because, Houston's on a rebuild. The Colts, they just got Matty Ice. I don't think that is the answer in the AFC South. The Jaguars, I'm sorry, no, I just not a big fan because they don't make financial decisions correctly when it comes to their roster. They should have kept DJ Chark. That wasn't a smart move to let him go. And they just paid a wide receiver $10 million who should have been cut. Yeah. Texans, rebuild. However, their draft looked phenomenal. I think that they are doing some big things down there, and I think Lovie Smith is going to turn that team around, no doubt. The way that he does defense is great. So I think Kam Ru is back. You ready? Oh, you're not ready? Okay, you just gave a thumbs up to somebody else. Whatever. So then, let's see. Wilbur's saying cut somebody. I don't know who's cut. No, brother. No. We are not cutting Justin Tucker. Boy, quit smoking that stuff. Anyway, Sam's leg just isn't as strong now. I think that's what he's saying. So yes, Sam's leg is like I said, it may not be what it was before. And then even if it is, the willingness to tackle, to go down there and still lay those hits. I mean, and he still got that amazing arm. What is he 4-4 on the conversions? But that's not what we hired him for. Anyway, Baltimore says I've never went to a Bungles, Squealers, or Browns, YT Lives, and or videos. We rent free in they head. Okay. No, but I mean, it's just fun though. We in here having fun, so they welcome to come through. I mean, you see it. Jack is probably more pessimistic than Gilbert in here. So if Jack is more pessimistic than Gilbert and he's a Ravens fan, of course I'm welcoming Wilbert in the room. Wilbert is keeping the comedy going. You're going to see a couple of Steelers fans. You're going to see a couple of Browns fans. All that going, even Bengals fans going to be in. Let them talk. Y'all can give them the skibbity paps as well. That's fine. All right. So Stout is a very accurate and apparently ran a 4.45 40 at one point. He's successor to Cook. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying that. But yeah, he's a successor to Cook. And it's going to save a great deal of money just in case the Ravens wanted to make a move. So hopefully Cook just recognizes writing on the wall and says, all right, look, it's probably time to hang it up. That's fine. But as far as the Tucker comment, Tucker is phenomenal. I know you're just trolling, but he's the greatest kicker of all time, hands down. All right, Bill Seal saying Cundiff is like saying that F word. You gotta bleep it out. My bad. All right, let's see if is he ready? You ready yet, Kam? I see in the head.
I'm sorry about that. I was handling this call.
You good, man? So
my bad. It was a FaceTime. Long distance from LA, so I apologize. I'm sorry. You good, man? Go ahead. Is Jack still in here?
Jack actually paid some money to say some stuff now. He don't pay $5.
Shout out to Jack, man. It's a sparring session. It was something. It was something.
Yeah, and then, of course, Wilbur being Wilbur, talking about cut Tucker. Love that guy, man. All right, so apparently we can't say that word there. Apparently it's like a curse word. Let's see here. So Justin Tucker is still performing. No, we don't cut him. Yeah, so I agree. He's saying Cook is a 16-year vet. I said 20, but that's what it felt like. Yes, it does feel like Cook has been here forever. And like I said, it's just he's older. And are we going to get as much leg out of him as we're going to get out of this young buck? Is it cheaper? Can we do it cheaper and better if we can and save the money? Yeah. And Stout only lived 30 minutes away from something. I don't know what he said. From his residence. Okay. And it's 20 people strong in here. Yes. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, do me a favor. Hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe. So and also smack that bell so you know when it's going down. When I say smack that bell, I'm talking about hit the notification bell. Be part of the Noti Gang. If you're part of the Noti Gang, do me a favor right now. Put it in the comments. Type in Noti Gang so we know that you're part of the Noti Gang. Represent for those of you who actually get that bell, that notification, and pop up in the room on time when we start these things, man. So let's see. Oh no, it's like I said, we got 20 people in the room. We get 20 likes on the video. All right. So Wilbert's on that good stuff. Yeah, you got that good cushion, alcohol. All right. So the Bungles and the Squealers. He's laughing at it. Okay, Browns just the Browns. So the Browns, they have an impressive roster. I think they're going to be a force to reckon with this year. And I don't know why I missed them on the power rankings. But you know how it is. Every year during the offseason, the Browns have an impressive offseason. Every single year, for the last 5 years. The Browns, when you hear in the offseason, when you hear ESPN come out with their power rankings, all that stuff, they put the Browns in the top. And to be honest with you, I think a guy who hasn't played 2 years to be put in the top 5 of quarterbacks is it's an overstatement. It's an overrate. I like Deshaun Watson. I love what he brings to the game, but I'm not willing to crown him as a top 5 quarterback when you ain't played in 2 years. What do you think, bro? Are you there? Can you hear us? Cam, I can't hear you, man. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear nothing you were saying. That's why I was like,
I was hoping people could hear me.
Like, what?
Okay, so I think they can hear me. So anyway, but yeah, I was saying Deshaun Watson, as far as the Browns being the Browns, yes, their roster is looking phenomenal. Every year for the last 5 years, their roster has been a phenomenal roster. To where every time they do a power rankings, they ended up in the top 5 of these power rankings, whatever. And some actually have them in top 3 of the power rankings, I think, 2 years ago. And what happens in the regular season? They tend to fall apart. It just doesn't happen. And then when it comes to Deshaun Watson, as far as his ranking goes, you ain't played in 2 years, buddy. How are you ranked number 5 or how you ranked in the top 5 when you ain't played in 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. And how they ranking Dak Prescott above Lamar Jackson when
don't get me started. You get me fired up again.
I'm about to say his decision making is not as good as Lamar's. I just
started, man. You get me fired up again about these jokers talking how where they put Lamar, boy.
They be on it, bro. So let's go through here. So Wilbert smoking that good stuff. Okay, so
it's been a festive night.
Oh, you shared a video in the war room. That's why all these people in the AFC North war room. That's funny. Oh, so we got one Noti Gang here. I appreciate you, Travis. And I know Bless Brown got to be Noti Gang because the second I post this thing on here, Bless be in here, and I think Delicious is a Noti Gang as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Wilbert is funny. I think, like I said, he's low key a Lamar Jackson fan. I've seen him. Yeah. And it's just fun to have him in the room because he brings that light attitude to the room, and it's just fun. Let's see here. Jack says, "Oh wait, Wesley's Noti Gang. Noti Gang, Wesley, what's going on, man?" So Jack says Humphrey is overrated.
There we go. Oh, as soon as I come back in the room, Jack, you ready to get it? You ready to get it, boy?
Ready to rumble.
Oh, here we go. Yo, what is the?
I don't get it. I feel like don't get me wrong. Humphrey had a tougher year. He had a tougher year, but Humphrey is still one of the top corners in the league, and he's going to show that this season. He didn't have any of the punch outs that he normally has, but I feel like Humphrey still is one of the top corners in the league. And I think when Peters comes back, it's not going to be as much pressure on him to hold it down on his side on the ball, especially with these safeties over top. Once they get that communication gel down, you're going to see some full-on no-fly zone type stuff going on.
Bro, when he was all pro, the past 2 years, he was all pro. Okay? I don't know how somebody says you're overrated when you're all pro 2 years in a row. When he was all pro both years, the front and the back got to work together. There's no corner out there in the world that never had a pass rush. Right? I'm not even. I'm trying to understand. You making me have gray hair and I ain't got no hair, Jack. You're making me lose all. You're gonna make me lose my brain, bro. Because you're just not making sense. Jack just be talking straight out your butthole, bro. You gotta make sense, my man. You gotta. Yeah, I play sports. Do you? Do you really? Do you really play sports?
Right, what he said?
He said, "Yeah, I play sports." Somebody must have said he didn't play no sports. I'm just trying to understand what you. This the dude that steps in the room, says something negative, and you just mad about? Are you just angry? You just a mad person, my man? You just angry about it?
He's optimistic. I'm or objective. I'm like, this is not objective. That's subjective. That is pure opinion based, without base.
Not back nothing up with facts. He just saying what he like.
Yeah,
you like? You're not a Ravens fan.
I hopped in on a Twitter feed, Twitter Spaces or like that. Drop facts on them, and they said. They came back at me. Just because you're dropping facts, that doesn't mean that your opinion is 100% correct. I'm like, oh,
what?
I was like, I had all the facts.
What?
I had the facts. It was everything was clear. But I mean,
just because you.
And I've heard some crazy.
Say that again, please. I need to use that on somebody so they can.
They said, "Oh, just because you have all the facts doesn't mean you're 100% correct." I'm like, but I had all the facts. I just don't get it. And then I walked. So I left the room. I left the room and I stopped messing with them for a couple of days because when I came into the room, some dude was trolling another young lady, who I won't say in here, but apparently every room that she hopped in, he was just coming to troll Lamar Jackson just for no reason or whatever. She was just like, I'm gonna let you have your opinion, whatever. It's not being disrespectful or like that, but I'm gonna let you say your piece. And the whole conversation just went south, like to where this whole space, like they was getting disrespectful. They was just doing all types of craziness, and it was just like full on cowboy land. They could say anything they wanted, and it was like one dude just wouldn't hush up the whole time. And he just kept arguing back and forth about nonsensical stuff. And these Ravens, I was just like, y'all something else. It's full on craziness in here. I was like, I can't even. So sometimes I just stay on silent. I'm not saying a word because these folks just be wild. And I think Jack, one of them, just come from the rooms, man. So Bless says, Jack.
I don't even understand what Jack is doing here. I'm trying to understand.
He said, well, you're the one gonna get beat and cooked.
Say what?
So I think he said cornerbacks fake injuries all the time when they getting beat and cooked. I don't think they were faking injuries, buddy. So yeah.
Fake injury to be out the rest of the season?
He's saying
injury, you can be out the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think they faking injury to be out the rest of the season, man. That's craziness. All right, so Wesley asking about news on Jimmy Smith. Has he retired? Is he done?
He's retired.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like players like Jimmy Smith, like, he's gonna go that route of Brandon Marshall. Brandon has still not said, "Hey, I'm fully retired." There's something about saying the words. I think they feel like there's something in them that is football life, and to say the words sometimes it might hurt.
Yeah, the same thing with Suggs. It's hard to just say.
Yeah, the second you hop on that podium, you recognize it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy should just come back and coach. I think he'd be a great.
He'd be an exceptional coach. But of course, I think what's the name? Who's that dude always talking about eating ice cream? That was the safety for us.
Weddle?
Yeah, Weddle will be an exceptional coach.
Another one.
Yeah, coach up his secondary. Yeah.
He even mentioned that when he first retired, he was like, I'll let y'all know when I'm ready. It's something I am definitely thinking about doing.
Yep. So then we got Says Humphrey a dog. He ain't soft like that. And Travis is laughing, saying, "Yeah, I think Jack's gonna get cooked." Yeah. And so Jack is Wilbur's burner. I think it's Jack. Jack might be Wilbur's burner on crack. Oh yeah, bless that Wilbur. That's your daddy, Jack. Wilbur. Y'all is wilding. So
we not used to seeing objective Ravens fans. What are you talking about?
Bruh, how old is Peters, first of all? And then how old
Peters?
And
I don't care who the number one corner. What does that got to do with anything? I'm trying to understand. What you say objective? Okay. Before you even go any, hold on, cuz. Before you go any further, when you say objective, Jack, okay, you say we're not used to having objective Ravens fans. When you say objective, you have to back. You're just saying something. If you're just saying something to say something, that's not being objective. That's just being negative. Period. You're just talking.
And then there's different areas.
Especially when you're just saying something. When you're saying something, you come on here and said nothing good about the team at all. So I don't even know how you're a Ravens fan.
And then there's the fact that like they have two different strengths. We know Peter's strength is zone. We know Marlowe's strength is either in interior and man coverage. So man coverage and interior versus guys are good at corner and he likes to take chances. They have their different strengths. So saying one's better than the other, whatever, I mean,
who cares? I don't even care who better than the other.
As long as they both there, you know what I mean?
Thank you. That's all I care about. I just need both of them on the damn team. I mean,
when it comes to Father's Day, whatever, I ain't worried about who's the best dad. As long as I got them there, you know what I'm saying? I got a stepdad, I got a real dad. They got their strengths. You know, as long as they there. You know what I'm saying?
You have don't tell them to have a positive attitude, Wesley. It ain't gonna work.
This dude talking about he's an objective Ravens cap. Where the hell is? Where's my cap at?
And you don't have to. I just want.
Lord, let's see here. So Travis says I watched Jimmy here in college, and he was a boss. Yeah, when Jimmy played college, I loved watching him in college. So you're in Colorado, Travis? So I think,
right.
Yeah, because Jimmy, when he was at Buffalo, dude was ushering people just straight whooping people down left and right, man.
His strength is playing press man. That's what he said he was going to go out doing.
Chris has figured out what is going on with Jack. Apparently, he is sipping Jack.
I'm just trying to understand when you say okay. If I say this is a teacher moment, Jack. If you're still there, if I say I don't like our offense, I gotta say why I don't like my offense. I can't just say I don't like the offense.
Yeah. Like, even if he had came out with, hey, Marcus Peters has had the most interceptions out of any quarter drafted since 2016 or something along those lines, then we could have said, oh, there's basis as to why he's the number one corner or something along those lines. But he just said it and just dropped the mic.
Nobody's going to agree with anything that you're saying, bro, because you're not saying anything of value.
Yeah.
There's no value behind what you're saying.
Let's see what the D says here. He says prediction: Isaiah Likely is more likely than Kolar as the better tight end, because whenever we draft two tight ends, the second is better. Oh, Pitta, and yeah. When it came to Pitta came after the Oregon Duck dude.
Dixon.
Yeah, Dixon came after Dixon, and then Dixon went. Didn't Dixon go to Carolina or something like that?
No, he went to Oregon.
I'm saying after he
went to Carolina. He played with Carolina.
And it was the Seattle or something like that too?
Yeah, he was at Seattle. You're right. Yep.
Let's see. Said I want to hear about Jimmy. He was balling right here in Colorado. Yes. I think I just left Colorado to come to Wichita Falls when Jimmy was actually in college. I wish I'd have been able to watch him play. That'd been awesome.
Yeah.
Back
to the tight end thing. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to be that way this time around because they're both in the same round. Usually it's one round, first round. Remember, Ed Dixon was a first rounder. Hayden Hurst was the first rounder. Maybe because they not. Good night, brother. Maybe because they're both fourth rounders. Maybe they both might stick around. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm hoping so.
2 different games, man.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. They're ready to state the reason, spill the beans. Yes, you spitting those facts right there. I think we spent a great amount of time, at least an extra 20 minutes, arguing with Jack around this joint. So
yeah, I'm sorry, brother. I had to handle the call. I know we stayed on even longer than usual.
You good, man?
Because of that, I apologize.
Jack is the best Ravens fan I've ever seen. Well, yeah. I love your sarcasm, buddy. I really do. Something else, man. Hey, y'all got to go check out the AFC North War Room. It is hilarious in there. Like, just craziness going on all the time. Some people get a little frustrated. You got to have one of those thick skins when you walk into the room. Recognize that Ravens will catch the fire just as much as the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Browns. It is nonsensical. You want a good laugh, go into that room. It is hilarious. But, yeah, definitely Jack has a burner account. or maybe Wilbur has a burner account. Maybe it's Jack. It's hilarious either way. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. But GK, you just came back in just for me to get the last line of the show, man. So,
yo, brother, I don't. I'll let you know about Wednesday. I may not be able to join you on Wednesday. I'll let you know ahead of time. But if I don't, man, y'all keep my boy company, man, and keep it rocking. Definitely keep it rocking.
And maybe I'll have my brother to come over here and maybe that'll be a good time for him to talk about what he's got planned coming up. So looking forward to hearing that. But this is the home of Original Sports Perspective, from our couch to yours. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. For the Noti Gang, love y'all. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Wednesday's apple pie day, if I get here.
Yes,
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Couch Rider. We gon' ride out. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, Original Sports Perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White rap for the beat, though.